And today, a Class B League 6 championship meeting. It's the 56th time these two teams have gone at it, and you'll see it on Cable 3. It's number 2 Harrison taking on number 3 Rye. And today's game is being brought to you by UA Columbia Cablevision of Westchester, the leader in sports television. It's finally a beautiful day as we welcome you to Nugent Stadium on the campus of Rye High School in Rye, New York. A beautiful day for a football game indeed. The temperature 62 degrees, winds variable out of the northwest. It's partly sunny. We've got clear skies the rest of the way, and believe it or not, the field is solid. Hi, everybody. I'm John Carrillo along with Ray Karowski as we welcome you to the 56th renewal of the Rye-Harrison Affair. It's a big day, and in just a few moments, as we have an extended pregame show for you, we're going to give you all of that color and pageantry that's associated with this great, great ball game. Ray, besides all of the hype that's going on, there is a ball game to be played here today. We're interested in how you're looking at this one.
A game? I wouldn't call this a game. This is the way I see it. First of all, you have to scan the country to find the best artist. Once you get them, you have them draw the picture. You'll have a Rye-Harrison player putting on his helmet, and facing him would be the Harrison player lacing up his shoulder pads. And the caption right across the middle, in red, you know, the color of blood, I would have going to war. Now, Rye has been in 8 battles. They lost 1. Harrison was in 8 battles. They won every battle. But this battle, the Army that wins this battle, not only wins the championship, the league championship, but they win the war.
Well, if you've seen our promo, we told you it's for the battle of the free world. It's Rye and Harrison. There's nothing quite like it. Now, Ray mentioned it will indeed be a battle because we have 2 really fine teams playing for this League 6 championship. To show you how tight they are, we've got 2 graphics to show you. We'll first begin with the conference standings. In League number 6, Rye and Harrison both unbeaten at 5-0. Rye, their only loss coming against Byram Hills. The rest of League 6, a very nice league. They're very regionally diverse. Also, parity, a good word for this one. Portchester, Tappan Zee, Nyack, Woodlands, and Sleepy Hollow. Now, to give you another idea on how close these teams really are, we go head-to-head. There you can see the numbers Harrison has put up during the season. 5-0 in league play. They have scored a lot more than they have given up. Overall, the same question, 188 points to 88 overall. Harrison with conference wins over Tappan Zee, Portchester, Sleepy, Woodlands, and Nyack. Rye on the other end at 7-1, 5-0 in conference play. Look at the points against. Overall, just 3 points separating the 2 teams. Rye's non-conference games, they have victories over Gordon and Eastchester. Their only loss in week number 3 of the season to Byram Hills at 7-2, and that's when Rye was ranked number 1 in Section 1 in Class B. Now, there are a lot of other things that go on with today's game. We're going to get to the color and pageantry in a moment, but let's take a look at the history a little bit. This is the 56th meeting in 58 years between these 2 teams. Harrison leads the series, 28 wins, 24 losses, and there have been 3 ties. This game has appeared 3 times here on Cable 3, and we, along with everybody else in Section 1, have enjoyed some memorable moments.
For many fans outside of these 2 towns, it's difficult to grab the full effect of what this game means to the players and coaches. Simply put, whether the teams are undefeated or winless, a win in this game makes or breaks the year. But this contest usually pits 2 great teams because since 1971, Rye has made 8 Section 1 bowl appearances, while Harrison has been to those championships 7 times following this regular season finale. The series, which holds many memorable moments, began in 1929 with Harrison winning the inaugural meeting 13-7. In 1933, a riot broke out after Rye's 12-7 victory, and the game was suspended for 3 years. During the 58-year span of the series, the Huskies twice ended 33-game Garnet winning streaks by winning the game. In 1975, Harrison began an 8-game winning streak, which included 1981's 13-0 victory, the first time this emotional series had been televised. When the Garnets finally ended the Husky string in 1983, Rye has gone on to win the last 4, including a 7-0 victory in the snow and rain in 1985 and last year's thrilling come-from-behind victory, 15-12, at Harrison's home field. However, all those records and statistics mean little to today's participants. Harrison at 8-0 hasn't really rolled over the opposition this year, but they have scored more points in all 8 games. The Garnets, with their only setback this year to Byram Hills, has shown good mixture of run and pass all season long. A conference crown and a guaranteed spot in the bowl championships awaits today's winners. And despite all the hype and tradition, that's what these athletes are playing for this afternoon.
For Art Troyo, the head football coach at Harrison, now in his 2nd season, this will be his first appearance on Cable 3, though over the years, the Huskies with a 2-1 mark on Cable 3 television. On the other end, Dino Gar, his 3rd season at the helm of the Rye Garnets after being the head football coach at Westlake, and before that was back here at Rye. Yeah, they're both alumnus of both of these schools. Rye, 6-5 record on Cable 3. However, Dino Gar in his tenure at Westlake and here at Rye, a sparkling 7-0 when he coaches a team on television. As we mentioned, there is a lot of pageantry going on associated with this ball game. As a matter of fact, it's a whole week's worth of work for both of the schools and all of the cheerleaders and bands and football players and coaches who are involved in this great spectacular. Well, we have the pleasure of joining us today on our coverage, Kevin McCabe, Cable 3 News Director, Mr. Westchester, we like to call him, and he had a chance to get right in the middle of all of the pageantry, and Mr. McCabe is going to tell us exactly what this Rye-Harrison game means to everyone else.
John, the stands are empty now, but they're going to be full for the big game. There's a lot that goes on before the football game. Rye has Harrison over for breakfast the day before. There's bonfires the night before. The Rye Fire Department will feed both teams the day of the game. So it's not just football. There's a lot of other things going on before the big game.
Football isn't the only thing the kids from Rye and Harrison get to enjoy this week. On Friday, there was French toast at Rye High School. It's become a tradition for the home team to have the visitors over for breakfast. And speaking of tradition, what about those haircuts?
Well, when I was back in high school, the teachers were always trying to get us to cut our hair. Those teachers would have a fit if they saw the haircuts these guys have. Who does your hair? Do you guys do it yourself?
Yeah, my mom did mine.
Your mom did yours? What does your dad think of it?
Oh, he doesn't mind. He thinks it's great. School spirit.
How about the football helmet? How do you keep it on? Doesn't it slide around in there with, without any hair?
Nah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you don't use super glue or anything like that?
Nah, afraid not.
Is it kind of cold in the morning?
Yeah, sometimes. It's easy to comb, though. You wake up in the morning, you just push it back. Pretty easy.
Well, it's easy to comb. It dries fast, and it looks good. I don't know. I don't think it's me, though. Do you girls like these haircuts?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Would you get one like that?
No, we wanted to, but we never would.
Really? Would you date a guy who has a hair like that?
Yeah, he's over there.
You would, huh?
Yeah, she does.
And one of the biggest dates of the year is for the bonfire, the night before the game.
Okay, Chief, how's the fire put together? You were telling me the students do it themselves.
That's right. The students themselves bring all the wood in. And they set it up, and we just come down and take care of it as they have all their fun.
I saw at Rye Fire Day some of your equipment before. You pump water right out of the creek if you have to.
That's right. We have a porter pump.
How does that work?
That works off of gas, and we just stick the hose right into the water, get all the water we need, put it out. Even if the field house started on fire, we could put that out without any problem.
Fire like this is pretty safe, though, isn't it, with the firemen here? John, after the bonfire, the next thing is the tailgate parties. And as you can see here, this is one of the better ones that you're ever going to see, with cheese, salami, breadsticks. It has it all. I'm getting hungry just looking at it. What makes for a good tailgate party?
Well, not only these nice cold snack foods, a little liquid, of course, depending upon your inclination. Also, maybe some hot food, like I'm cooking a batch of chili over there on another table.
I understand you make a pretty mean batch of chili, too.
Well, I've been told that. I've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to win a few times, including New York State Championship a few years ago.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're probably going to crown a champion here today, too.
I think so.
Well, John, that's about it. You've seen the bonfire, you've seen those crazy haircuts, the breakfast, and now the tailgate party. That's about it. And, oh, yeah, isn't there something about a football game today?
Well, just a minor battle going on here this afternoon, Kevin, and we're happy to announce that Kevin will be with us all game long. He'll be giving us reports from along the sidelines throughout today's event. You may be able to hear in the background the noise starting to swell a little bit. Harrison has just arrived. They're unloading the buses out on the Boston Post Road. And in just a moment, we're going to have a chance to visit with their head coach, Art Troyo, in his second year. Yesterday, we had a chance to talk with Dino Gar, one of the two coaches involved in this ball game. And Dino Gar gave us some insights in today's Classic.
Coach Gar, the season has been quite a success for the Garnets this year. I'm curious as to know how pleased you have been with the balance in the offensive attack, both running and throwing, that the team has shown.
Well, I'm very pleased. We strive to do that. One of our goals each year is to try to make sure that we can do both parts of the football, where we can throw and run. And I've been very pleased not only with the passing and running, of course, but also our special teams play, which I think is going to be important, especially in a game of this magnitude. But I've been very pleased that, you know, we've gotten great play from our quarterback. We've gotten good receiving from our ends. And our running backs have done an outstanding job. Newman and Flood and anyone else. We actually have 11 people who have scored for us.
Also, is it harder to play in this game or coach in this game?
I think when I was playing, I thought it was harder to play in the game. But right now, you know, I'd give, again, anything to go out and play. I guess the next best thing is that I can coach against it. So that it's a great honor. I really look forward to it.
We have the pleasure now to visit with Art Troyo in his second year as head coach of the Harrison Huskies. Coach, I'd like to ask you about the offense. You've only had one touchdown this season through the air. Is that designed, or is just this really a real good running team?
I think that we have a great running team, and you know, if we have to get outside, a big play, we like to run the option, but we can throw the ball.
Okay. And the other question we want to ask you, we asked Dino the same thing. What's easier, coaching this game or to play in this game?
Well, it's definitely easier playing in a game, because after you get your first hit, that you're into the game as a coach, you're just as nervous at the beginning as you are at the very end.
Okay. Coach, thanks for visiting with us. Best of luck. Thank you. Art Troyo, the football coach, and there you got to look at the crowd that's starting to swell this Nugent Stadium. They're expecting anywhere between 12 and 15,000 for today's ball game. Now, let's get to the meat of this pregame show. Who's going to win this one? We've got to open up the vault of knowledge. And to get in there, we need Karowski's keys. So, Ray, what do you think about this monstrous affair?
John, I had to boil it down to the winning team must. It really boils down to control the line of scrimmage. Rye has to protect Riebling because he can really throw. He's a great throwing quarterback. They cannot let Harrison cross the line of scrimmage. Rye has to run a balanced offensive attack. They have to run up the middle, off guard, off tackle, around the end. They have to also pass. Harrison has to open up holes, run their power offense, and they also have to pressure Riebling. Number two, you have to have good field position. You have to let it all hang out. If you have no field position, your percentage of offense goes down. You're fighting for your life to get out of a hole. Offensively, you become a defender. What you want to be is an attacker. The specialty teams, this is the punt, the kickoff, the punt return, kickoff return, very important. The extra points, if a touchdown score, it has to be good. It could be a two-point play, and it may even boil down to a field goal. Lastly, the teams have to play this game at full speed and on a course of collision. There's no half speed or going through the motions. You have to have that extra hustle. There's no contact in this battle because slow dancing is contact. You have to go through people. You have to hit or be hit. That's the law.
This guy is painting a rosy picture for us all here today, but I think you're finally getting the essence of what this game is all about. There's a lot of great ball games going around Section 1 today, but hopefully in the next 2 hours, we're going to show you why this Rye-Harrison game is indeed one of the top rivalries in Section 1. Stay right where you are. When we continue straight ahead here at Cable 3, we've got for you meeting number 56, Rye taking on Harrison, and the opening kickoff follows this quick timeout. Oh, the final strands of the national anthem played together by the Harrison and Rye marching bands. We're about set for today's ball game. The opening coin toss ceremony is complete. Harrison will receive the football, and that brings us to today's official crew, and what a crew it is. Tops in the county today. Bob Everett will be our referee today. The head linesman is Paul Luciano, the umpire Ron Robson, and the field judge John Bertolini. And we've also got Scott on the clock. Doug Scott will be working the clock here this afternoon. And I should also mention that Bob Everett, the referee, met with both captains from each school at breakfast this morning to make sure everybody understands that the referees are not going to take away from this game whatsoever. Hopefully, to add a little bit to today's game, we've got Kevin McCabe roaming the sidelines, and he's with us right now to give us a little feel about today's ball game. Kevin, there's a lot of folks out here today.
Looking at the Rye fans behind me right now, they're already mixing it up with the Harrison players. They were down here working out. Some of the Harrison players had something to say to the fans, and the fans responded in kind. So they can see the enthusiasm is high here, but I'm sure, as the coach said, once they start hitting out there, they'll realize they're in a football game. Back up to you, John.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And the two guys who know they're in a game and have been preparing for this one maybe from week number one. There's the second-year coach of the Harrison Huskies, Art Troyo Jr. His father, former football coach at Harrison, now the athletic director. And Art with a career record of 14 wins and 3 losses in his 1+ seasons of work as the head mentor for the Harrison Huskies. On the other side of the field, in his second tenure as the head coach of the Dino Gar, another former alumnus, Dino Gar, his 3rd season. Gar back as the head coach of Rye, a career record combined at Rye and Westlake High School of 74 wins, 30 losses, and 2 ties. And Coach, you know, being involved in a couple of real big battles, some Section 1 games you were coaching when you were with Eastchester High School. This, I think, a little bigger than some of the bowl games, especially for Rye and Harrison.
You know, John, there's nothing like it. The assistant coach for Harrison, Nick Koulios, has just come back from the Detroit Lions. He was one of the last ball players to be cut. They're inviting him back for next year. He said, I talked to him yesterday, and he's got this emotional feeling this up. He said, it's going to be so great going to this game this afternoon. It's going to be like more important than when he was with the Lions and they went into the Green Bay Packers. It's unbelievable what kind of emotion and intensity that this game produces. And talking about Coach Troilo, I see him over there coaching, and I remember when I was coaching at Eastchester, we were 6-0. He comes in with the Huskies. He was only a senior in high school, and we couldn't stop him. The only way we can stop him is with an elephant gun. But he was so good as a runner, he really took away an undefeated season from me, and I don't think that was very nice.
We'd also like to mention and say hello, special hello to all of you folks on the Adams-Russell cable system watching today's game. Hope you enjoy it as this one is underway. It's a short kick, and it's a live football picked up by Calgani at his own 25. Right up the middle of the field he goes and brings it down at the Harrison 36-yard line. And that's where the Huskies will set up shop. 1st and 10 as we take a look at the offensive unit for Harrison. Their quarterback will be number 21, Frank Preziosi, 6-foot senior. The 2 halfbacks, Calgani, number 43, 5'8" senior, and Caruso, Jay Caruso, number 33. He is the 6'1" senior. The fullback, number 20, Nick Sinis, a 5'11" senior. The tight end, Brett Basiglia, a 6-foot junior, and the split end, Paul Parisi, a 5'10" senior. Starting offensive unit for the Harrison Huskies, 8-0 on the year. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line, opening play of the day. And Harrison that likes to run that football. You're going to see a lot of this as they go to the fullback, Sinis, and he gets it up to the 39-yard line, a gain of 3, and that will bring up a 2nd down and 7. On the offensive line for the Huskies in the ball game, we'll have Adam Pollock, the left tackle, John Sinis, the left guard, Ed Lucas is the center, the right guard, number 72, Pete Rossi, and the right tackle, Brian Mayer, number 62. That offensive line averaging 5'11", 203 pounds. And on the offensive side of the football, the Huskies, they go with the senior-dominated lineup, 10 seniors and 1 junior. That junior being Mar, the right tackle. Again to the ground, and another hole. This time it's Preziosi who takes it himself and barrels this way across midfield into Rye territory at the 47-yard line. 14-yard gain for the quarterback. 1st down, number 1 for the Huskies. Let's take a look now at the defensive set for Rye. They go with a 4-man front. Ray Delacoli, Trey Flood, Anthony Sabona, and Bob Follett will be on the line. The inside linebackers, Kenny Larson, a 6'5" senior, and Jerome Kenny, a 5'6" senior. Kenny wearing number 42. 1st and 10 for the Huskies, ball in Rye territory at the 47. Preziosi again takes it himself and and down to the Rye 35-yard line. That's a 14-yard pickup for Precioso. Second down, number 2. And finally, the last of the defensive sets for the Rye Garnets in the outside linebacker spots, Frank Consoli and Greg Dratty. The cornerbacks, Rich Mascali and Eric Esblond. And the safety will be number 20, Ricky Lehman. On the defensive side, the Garnets go with 7 seniors and 4 juniors. But here on this opening drive, the Huskies looking good, rolling down the field. They have a 1st and 10 from the Rye 35-yard line. Precioso pitches it outside. Galgani slips away from a tackle and finally forced out of bounds close to the line of scrimmage. They may give him a yard, and that's about it. But this time the Rye coverage comes up. Ray, the line's doing a nice job. They're going through the middle of the line when they're doing well. That pitch outside seemed to hurt him a bit.
Yeah, well, what they're trying to do is they're an option team, Harrison, and you'll see Calcagney running right there. He's 5'8", 190 pounds. They're trying to get him to the outside, John, because he does the 40-yard dash in 4.58 seconds. He's called the Husky on the team. He's the leading rusher on the team, 49 carries for 360 yards. He scored 3 touchdowns, and he's also a good receiver. He has 6 receptions.
Harrison looking good. Second down and 9. Benny Seckler now in the backfield at the tailback spot. He'll get the football off of left guard, and another big hole all the way down to the Rye 25-yard line, and he's going to be very close to another Harrison first down. The spot moves it on the other side, and it looks like he's going to be very shy, about half a yard. Here it is again.
Yeah, here's Ben Steckler now. He's a strong runner. He's 5'9", 180 pounds. Last year, he was an honorable mention all-section player. He's really a super player. He comes up with the big plays, and interestingly, very important, he's ranked 3rd in this class. He's an honor student, of course, and he would love to attend Harvard. Woo! He's got the brains, the talent, the ball player.
3rd and 1. Precioso on the keeper, bounces off of a tackle, and he'll get the first down. Ricky Lehman, number 20, the safety, coming up to lay the final hit on him, but not before Precioso picks up first down number 3 for the Huskies, who have had the ball so far in this first quarter. Still no score, but this drive started back at their own 36. They now have a 1st and 10 at the Rye 24.
So Frank Precioso's doing a good job running right behind his fullback. It's like an isolation play, but you have to give credit to the linemen. The line is controlling the line of scrimmage. They're firing out, they're creating the gaps, and the backs are going right through, and Harrison is running the ball. That's what they want to do. They feel if they can run the ball, that they can win this game.
So far, they're doing just that. Penalty marker on the play, first of the day. Jay Caruso struggling ahead with a couple of Garnets draped all over him. Gets it up to the 13-yard line, but there is a marker down on the field.
Now, here's Jay Caruso. Now, how would you like to have a tailback his size, 6'2", 210 pounds? He does the 40-yard dash in 4.7. He's a 3-year starter. He was honorable mention all-section last year. He is probably one of the finest, toughest linebackers in the business. I was talking to Coach Troilo, and he said that he can play Division I football. Bench press is 315 pounds. He's strong, he's fast, he's talented, and he has that burning desire to excel and win. And if he takes off, it's going to be like he got changed in a phone book. Strong.
5-yard illegal procedure call against the Huskies brings up a 1st and 15 now from the Rye 29-yard line. Calgangi. And a short gain of about 2 yards. Rye defensive line stuffs him at the line of scrimmage, and Calgagny able to fall forward for a couple. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 now. Clock still rolling, 8.5 to go first quarter. And we have no score. Harrison's had the ball in the first quarter so far.
Okay, Harrison just ran a counter play. Now, what's important in that is that you have to have your linemen to maintain, hold those blocks. The defense on Rye is pursuing very well. They're meeting their blocker, they're shedding him, and they're getting to the holes. This is a game where the linemen have to stick with their men.
First attempt for Precioso, and he throws it a little too far out of the reach of his intended receiver, Calgagny. On the defensive coverage, Frank Consoli, the outside linebacker. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 13. So we mentioned in the pregame show, there you look at Dino Garf. I told you, undefeated on Cable 3, 7-0. Couple of wins at Westlake and now back here at Rye.
And also he was the Cable 3 Coach of the Year.
So big play here for the Huskies early, 3rd down and 13. Little screen pass, Seckler has it, he's got blockers way in front of him. Good move to the inside, finally brought down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Rye definitely was not looking for that.
Oh, what a call, what a great call by Coach Troilo. See right here, Prezioso now, he's going to pump, go back a couple of steps. Look at beautiful catch. Watch the moves. He's got the blockers in front of him, right from behind. You know, that was a saving TD tackle. What a great call.
19-yard pickup on the screen play, and the Huskies now with a 1st and goal from the Rye 9-yard line. It's Caruso. Down to the 1.
Caruso, strong, 3-year starter. Every coach would love to have a tailback, 6'2", 210 pounds. Now watch him run. He's got the speed, moves, brute strength. He's just hungry for that goal line. He is the leading rusher on the Harrison's offensive team. He's averaging 7.1 yards a carry.
Well, he got his average picked up 8 there.
Really strong.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Now, I would give it to him right here. He's big, strong, bowler right over.
Caruso, they stopped him at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive charge by the Garnets, and the ball came out loose. The Garnets recovered. The ball comes popping out of Caruso. What a great job the Rye defensive line did here. They came right up, stacked him. Ball comes popping out, and the Garnets recover. Big turnover. Rye has it 1st and 10 from their own 2.
It was just as if Rye knew that the big man in the backfield, Caruso, was going to get the ball. They just jammed him. They stopped him, created the fumble, come up with a big play. That is something that Rye has earned.
All right, the Garnets on offense. It's Steve Riebling, the junior quarterback, in his 2nd season as the starter for the Garnets. And they'll be looking for a little working room. Quick dive play up the middle. And I believe that's Scott Newman, number 41, who got the call. Brings it to the 5-yard line, a gain of 3. Let's take a look at the offensive set. Riebling, 6'2" junior, the quarterback. Trey Flood is the fullback. He's a 6' junior. Newman, the leading rusher for the Garnets this season, is the tailback, number 41. The split end, Greg Dratty. The tight end, Ken Larson. And the wingback, number 14, is Frank Consoli, a 5'10" senior. It's 2nd down and 7. Ball just across the 5-yard line. Newman again. This time brings it out to the 8-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Newman now with 5 yards on the day. Offensive line for the Rye Garnets. Anthony Malloy is the left tackle. Ray Delacoli, the left guard. Dan Carito is the center. John Dornick, the right guard, number 55. And Mike Waltman, number 75, will be the right tackle. That offensive line averaging 6 feet, 187 pounds. And was the case on the defensive side. On the offensive side of the football for the Rye, this is a team really building for the future as well. 6 seniors and 5 juniors. So a lot of players getting a host of experience this season. 3rd and 5 for the Garnets. Riebling to put it up. Sideline route. Dratty is there. Has it. Goes out of bounds at the 22.
What a quarterback Riebling is. I was up watching practice on Thursday. I was so impressed the way he throws. Now watch, he takes his steps back. Look at the arm. Very quick release, on target, beautiful reception, well-thrown ball. The kid is going to be a great, great quarterback.
Defensively for the Huskies with the 5-man front. Craig Calgani, John Sinnis, Bob Brunetti, Frank Altamoro, and Ed Lucas. That line averaging 5'10", 191 pounds. It's 1st and 10 for the Garnets. Now they've got some room to work with a 1st and 10 from their own 21. This is Newman, the tailback. Sliding a little bit in the backfield. Ball comes loose. Precioso can't get a handle, now finally comes up with it, and Newman, who fumbled it, comes back to make the tackle, but Harrison will get it back again in Rye territory.
Oh, what a game. What a game. It's so interesting. Caruso's the power back for Harrison. Now here's Newman for Rye. He's averaging 6.37 yards a carry, scored 11 touchdowns. He fumbled. Caruso before fumbled. These guys are really hitting out there. This is the law, hit or be hit. They're on a collision course. It's unbelievable how well these teams are playing. It's an emotional game. They're up high, and you couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, the Huskies back on offense, their second trip. No score, 4:23 to go first quarter. It's Caruso, knocked up at the line of scrimmage, and making that tackle, Eric Ebsland, number 21, the senior cornerback. And Caruso fights his way ahead for a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
It boils down to that line, the offensive line. When they fire out and they make their contact, they have to stick and stay with them and drive them out.
2nd down and 9. We're going to visit with Kevin McCabe in just a moment. See what he's up to along the sidelines. Harrison now with the 2nd down and 9. Precioso still with it, pitches it out. Seckler can't get a handle on it. Now he's got it, but he's in trouble. Down he goes. Penalty marker also thrown on the play. As Harrison gets all the way back, and another fumble. I think they're giving this to the Garnets as well.
They are hitting out there. There's no doubt about it. They're rubbing paint off helmets. They're going through people.
All right, discussion down on the field with our referee Bob Everett and his crew. All right, let's see if, as the discussion continues, let's see if we can take a look at the play and see exactly where the ball comes out.
Now, this is the option play right here. Here's Frank pitching out. Now, there's a man right in his face. They are really covering this option play. Oh, he's hit. You see him driven back on his back? He is definitely hit.
Well, it looked indeed like the ball did come out. The penalty is a clip against Harrison. It is declined, and the Garnets will get the football. Second turnover by the Huskies. 3:34 left to go. Let's go down to Kevin McCabe along the sidelines.
Well, John, you have to be watching this game to see who to cheer for. You see the Rock cheerleaders behind me. They'll keep cheering when their team has the ball, but they've been coughing it back and forth, as you've seen. They do have one cheer for you, though. Back up to you.
Thank you, Kev. 1st and 10 for the Garnets. The ball at the Harrison 43-yard line. Each team has fumbled it away. Harrison twice, Rye once. Riebling gives it away to Newman. Tailback slips away from one and gets it down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 7. Let's take a look now at the defensive set for the Harrison Huskies. We mentioned they go with a 5-man front. In the backfield, we'll have Nick Sinnis and Jay Caruso, the 2 linebackers. The cornerbacks, Jeff Radcliffe and Brett Basiglia. The strong safety, Ben Seckler, and the free safety, number 21, is Frank Precioso. On defense, the Huskies, they use 9 seniors and 2 juniors. 2:35 left to go. First quarter, no score. Rye with the football. 2nd down and 3. Lehman, the wide receiver, to the near side. Trey Flood and Newman, the setbacks behind Riebling. Newman with the call. Fights ahead forward. Looks like he may have enough for a Rye first down to the 32-yard line. It's very close. They take a look down at the chains, and I believe it's going to be close enough to bring it out for measurement. So that's indeed what they will do.
John, this is one thing that Rye wanted. They wanted field position. There were good field conditions. I was talking to Dino Garr on Thursday, and because of all the rain and the snow that we had on Wednesday, he thought that the field might be soaked. With the dry field, he wanted good field position so we can run the ball and mix it up with the passing game, because Riebling is a great thrower and he does have good receivers. Very important, the field position. Now you can let it all hang out. You can run off tackle, trap, pull guards, pull a tackle. You really have to be on guard.
Well, this Rye offense, they do a little bit of everything, and that's got to make Artroyo's job that much more difficult.
And that's what Rye has to do. They have to run a well-balanced offensive attack. They can't hit one hole. They have to hit every hole, and they have to pass.
Well, Newman picked it up for the first down, the second for the Garnets. Ball now at the 32-yard line. It's Newman again, and this time Jay Caruso grabs him from behind and lowers the boom. A loss on the play of a yard. And the Garnets will be faced with a second down and 11. Clock still rolling. 1.5 left to go, first quarter.
Now, in on that tackle was number 33 for Harrison, Jay Caruso. He's the leading tackler. He has 50 solos, 35 assists, 7.5 sacks, and 1 fumble recovery. He is a big-time college linebacker.
You've already talked about his prowess on the offensive side of the football.
He's a 3-year starter. Has never beaten Rye since 8th grade.
That's right. Rye is on a 4-game winning streak in this series. Riebling, 2nd and 11. Screen pass, Newman. 1 block. And out of bounds at the 25. And a penalty marker on the play. I think they're going to grab a hold of Ken McComb, number 82, for a late push in the backfield. As you look at Scott Newman, needs 127 yards in today's game to get 1,000 for the season.
They talk about 1,000 yards. Riebling threw for 1,000 yards last year. Okay, here's the play. He's out there in the flat. There's a tackle missed. He's coming down a sideline. You can't see where the necessary roughness had taken place.
Well, Newman's going to get credit for the 8-yard pickup, and then they march the 15 yards from the spot of the infraction, and that brings it back to the 40-yard line.
Now, this is one game that the coaches do not want. Mental mistakes, physical mistakes, or turnovers. You know, like a fumble or a clip, anything like that. It's very detrimental. It can hurt you. It can hurt a drive. It can hurt your way going for a touchdown.
So the penalty, illegal clip against Rye. And after the 8-yard gain by Newman, the ball comes back to the 40-yard line. It will be, now they have 3rd down on the chain box. I believe it is 2nd down and 19. We're going to have to check that along the sidelines. It should be 3rd down, I actually believe. Riebling airs it up, looking for Lehman. Incomplete. Great defensive play down there by Brett Basiglia. Lehman had it in his hands, and Basiglia knocked it away.
What a play. Now, you have to give Riebling credit. Watch the way he moves back there. He looks one way. Watch this throw. It's right on target. It's there. It's there. It wasn't his hands, but he was stripped of the ball. A great defensive play. Great throw, great defensive play. This is a fundamentally sound played football game. Both teams are well coached. They're covering their men, and they're doing the exact proper thing. Once the ball's in the hands of a receiver, you strip them.
All right, it is 4th and 19. Riebling flips it back to Newman, who hits an end-over-end kick. Seckler finally decides to pick it up, slips away from a tackle, gets away from another. There's a face mask penalty, and Seckler all the way up past the Harrison 35-yard line. There's going to be a face mask penalty added on to the run by Seckler. For Rye, number 76, Anthony Malloy, trying to make the tackle, threw his arm out, and more times than not, the hand usually seems to find the face mask, and that's what happened here.
This is one thing I found out going to Harrison during the week, that Seckler is a big play, comes up with the big play, and he almost does it right here. Look at this, the ball's bouncing around. Now he's going to the outside, sees the daylight, he's turning it on. He's got great speed right there. That one man, he may have gone all the way. Coming up with a big play.
He did a pretty good job on that guy and working on the chain crew over there.
Oh, yeah.
He leveled him.
Boy, I'll tell you, if you see a ball player, you're on a sideline, a ball player's coming at you, just turn around and run. Run like hell.
So Rye punts it away, add the 15 yards to the face mask, and Harrison again in business. 32 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and the Huskies have it in Rye territory at the 46-yard line. No score in the ball game. Precioso right up the middle and breaking it clean. It's the fullback Sinis to the 10. Touchdown Harrison.
That's number 20, Nick Sinnis, 27 carries coming into this game for 175 yards, 1 touchdown. What a run, right up the middle, sees the daylight, takes advantage of it, and he can smell the goal line. What a thrill to score in this game. Look at this, right up the middle. There it is, he's running, he sees the goal line. What a thrill. In a game, and he puts the ball down like a gentleman. Oh, you have to respect it.
All right, the Huskies lining up for the 2-point conversion. Pitch is fumbled in the backfield and recovered by Rye, and that means the 2-point conversion is no good. However, with just 23 seconds left to go in this first quarter, it is now Harrison 6 and Rye nothing. Nick Sinnis, 5'11" senior, a 46-yard touchdown run to put the Huskies on top first.
46 yards. Now, to go that distance, you definitely have to give the line credit. You know, taking the defensive lineman, blocking out a linebacker, and going to that opening in the secondary. You know, I was up watching practice at Harrison, and I really got this feeling that they are definitely a physical team. I mean, really tough, like the old-time football players. You know, they'll go out in the mud. 9 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, right? We didn't have any school. I go there, they're out there practicing. It was cold. I was there for 20 minutes. My teeth were chattering. And I said to Coach, I said, I got to go, I'm too cold. And those guys were out there, they were hitting, they were practicing, physically and mentally tough. Boy, they'll take it right at you. I would never want to fight any of these guys. They would never stop. They come right at you all the time.
23 seconds left, first quarter. Harrison leading now 6-0. Huskies to kick it away to the Garnets. We've had 3 turnovers already in the game. Harrison has fumbled it twice. Rye has fumbled it once. So far, with just about 12 minutes gone in the ballgame, we've seen quite a bit. Galgani with a nice high kick. Lehman takes it at his own 5-yard line. Looking for the wedge. And brings it back to the 25. And that's where Rye will have it, 1st and 10 with 17 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Ricky Lehman, 5'8" senior, running the ball back and putting the Huskies back on offense.
You know, I just watching the blocking. The hitting is unbelievable. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, going into this game, the law is hit or be hit, you know, kill or be killed. But they are really smacking people. I mean, they are really on a course of collision.
And as the clock winds down, quarter number 1 has come to an end here at Nugent Stadium on the campus of Rye High School in Rye, New York. It's the 56th meeting between Rye and Harrison. And at the end of the first quarter, the Huskies leading the Garnets by a score of 6-0. And after this short break, we'll return to Nugent Stadium with more of the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Video along with Ray Karowski and the entire Cable 3 Sports team. Big crew out here today. We're using 5 cameras for the first time this season. Kevin McCabe. Mr. Westchester is here. And our news director taking a look at some of the sidelight activities that have really become an integral part of this series between Rye and Harrison, which incidentally dates back to 1929. The first game was played then. Harrison defeated Rye 13-7. And while I think about it, I want to congratulate Jeff Hanley of the Westchester Rockland newspapers, who really put together a nice article this week that appeared in the local papers about this game. I don't know if Jeff went through all of the statistics and everything, but he came up with some juicy little tidbits. Did you go through everything? Look through all the yearbooks and all of that? Every newspaper that was printed since 1929. This guy does a job and a half.
Oh, what a journalist.
All right, Garnets with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Riebling gives it away. This time he'll go to the fullback, who gets the call, and there's a penalty marker as the ball comes loose, but they're going to say that it was down. Trey Flood got the call and coughed it up, but they say the ball was dead. However, along with that, There is a penalty marker yet to be checked out, and it's another face mask call, this time against the Huskies. You'll see right at the end of the play here.
Yeah, you're going to see Trey Flood, and now he's a junior. Look at him run. See those legs pumping? Right there, there's the face mask. You can see it. Now the ball popped out, but no fumble. Trey Flood, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Before coming into this game, 58 carries for 322 total yards, averaging 5.5 yards a carry, and he scored 2 touchdowns.
All right, here's the scoring summary from Harrison's opening drive. Not much of a drive, though, was it? 1 play, 46 yards, only took 9 seconds long. And Sinis, with his 46-yard run, the 2-point conversion was no good. And that's our score. Harrison leading Rye 6-0. We're in the opening series here in the second quarter. So the 15-yard penalty assessed. Flood got 10 on the carry, and it is 1st and 10 from the Rye 49-yard line. Trouty, the wide receiver, to the near side. It's Flood again. This time brings the ball to the Harrison side of the field and up to the 49-yard line. Make it the 48, pickup of 3 yards. Interesting sidelight that we'll have to keep in the back of our heads, and Art Choyo touched on it a bit when we had him in our pregame show. The fact that if Harrison gets down, it's going to be difficult for them to get back in the ballgame if they have to throw. So that opening touchdown, a very, very big score in the entire scheme of this football game.
That's exactly right, John, because Harrison is a running team, and if they're behind, it would be a little bit difficult to score and catch up.
Riebling, play action. There's this one out. Incomplete. Down there trying to haul it in, Joe Cancel, number 32. But once again, Brett Basiglia. They may be working on him a little bit, but he's come up tough 2 straight times.
I'll tell you, this is a well-thrown ball. It's over 50 yards in the air. He's got good rotation on that ball, but look at the coverage. The coverage is great. See, the thing is that Harrison knows, everyone knows that Rye can throw. They have good receivers, they have Riebling, and what they're going to do, they're going to not let anyone get behind him. They're going to try to cover those receivers like blankets, and they're doing a great job.
So that brings up a 3rd down and 8. Riebling, good protection across the middle, intercepted. Jeff Radcliffe picks it off. Penalty marker is down. Radcliffe going to the outside of the field, and he is brought down from behind by Ken McComb, number 82. But there is a penalty marker. It was thrown after the ball was intercepted, so even if it does go against the Huskies, they're still going to hold on to the football.
Boy, that's a big play right there, coming up with that interception. Now we're going to see on this replay where the receiver, the intended receiver going for the ball, I don't know if he trips or stumbles. He's down. Right there, you can see him, and the ball's intercepted. Now he's running. Now you don't want to run to the middle because that's where all the confusion is. Everybody's there. You try to get to the sideline,
So there, Bob Everett talking with the captains, Riebling and Calgagny. And penalty is going to go against the Huskies, but as we mentioned, the flag coming after the ball was intercepted. So probably an illegal block somewhere along the line. And rather than have the football in Rye territory, the Huskies should get it in Harrison. It's pass interference against Harrison.
That was probably that receiver that the official saw that the Harrison guy probably hit him or touched him, knocked him off stride, and you know, possibly knocked him down. So that's pass interference.
Well, that's it. So take the interception away. Rye still holds on to the football. 1st and 10 now from the Harrison 34-yard line with 10:27 left in the second quarter. Huskies leading 6-0. What a big call there. Now, the reason I had said that I thought it was going against the Huskies was because the flag was late. The ball had been intercepted. Right. Radcliffe had already taken off the field. Then, in the corner of my eye, I saw the flag come out. but that usually just means the official had trouble getting it out of his pocket.
Yeah, I thought the same way you did, because when it was intercepted, there was no flag, and then when he started running a couple of steps, and then I saw a flag flying in the air. But usually when there's interference, you know, the official will throw it immediately.
But that's what's so good about this crew, led by Bob Everett. As he's told us many times, he is one referee who wants to make sure they get the call right. So there's a lot of discussion going on, and rightfully so. Riebling across the middle, complete to the Greg Draddy, down at the 16-yard line. That is a poised junior sitting in that pocket back there.
Now you're going to see number 89, that's Greg Draddy. He has 22 catches for 402 yards. And does he have great hands? Look at this, the ball's right there. He wants to make sure he catches it first, and then he was off stride and he fell down. But he has 18 yards of reception, and he scored 5 touchdowns. You really have to cover Draddy.
1st and 10 for the Garnets. The ball at the Huskies' 17-yard line. First down number 4 picked up by Rye. Each team now with 4 first downs. Little delayed counter, and they go to Newman. Not a whole lot there. He's lucky if he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Coming up at the bottom of the pile, Frank Altamaro, number 24 defensive tackle, making the stop. And that's all he did, get to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Oh, the wives are here. And the Cable 3 groupies are here. All right, we've got a timeout on the field. This one's going to be charged to the Rye Garnets. They're first. They'll have 2 more remaining. And that stops the clock with 9:25 left to play in the 2nd quarter, with Harrison leading by a score of 6-0. We mentioned in our pregame show there are a lot of big games going on around Section 1 today. And let's take a look at the 3 classes and who's playing who and what's it all mean. First of all, number 1 Roosevelt trying to keep their winning streak intact. They're 7-0. They'll be at Lincoln High School today. That's a big rivalry. 2 Yonkers schools going at it. Championship for League 3 up for grabs today as Scarsdale plays host to number 4 White Plains. Number 3 North Rockland will be at home against Suffern. That would have been for the League 1 crown, except the Mounties lost last weekend, so North Rockland wrapped that up a week ago. White Plains, as we mentioned, taking on Roosevelt. Number 5 Fox Lane will be at home against Horace Greeley. Another couple of big rivalries, Marinick versus Portchester. And in the longest rivalry in Westchester County, New Rochelle at McKenna Field to take on the Knights of Mount Vernon. And I believe that is going to be game number 88 in that long and storied football traditional game. And the Knights and the Huguenots going at it at McKenna Field. Of course, you'll be able to see highlights and get all the scores this Tuesday night on Extra Points. And we'll also take a look at classes B and C as this ball game progresses. Timeout over. Garnets coming up. 2nd down and 10. Ball resting at the Huskies' 17. Flood, Newman, the setbacks behind Riebling. Drops straight back. Good protection. Puts it up. Intercepted. Jeff Radcliffe finally gets one to put in the books. Great coverage by Radcliffe right in front of Draddy.
This is a great play. It's a key play. Coming up, rising to the occasion. Right here, look, he's right in front of the receiver, comes up, looking the ball into his hands. They know that Rye's going to throw, they know they can't throw, and they're doing exactly what they want to do. The Huskies are covering their man, they're right there, and coming up and stopping a TD drive. Well, you know, the cream always rises to the top, and the great ball players will come up with that big play. That's a little extra hustle.
From the 6-yard line, the Huskies go on offense. Precioso tries to go up the middle of the field. Scott Newman is there to dump Jay Caruso. No gain on the play. Actually, they're calling it a loss of about 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. There you look at Newman coming out of the ball game, and he's going to be replaced by Kenny Larson.
Now Harrison is in a hole here. They didn't pick up a yard. It's 2nd down. If they don't pick up anything, I would not be surprised on 3rd down if they quick kick, just to get out of that hole.
2nd down and 11. Benny Seckler, wide receiver to the near side. Caruso and Sinis the setbacks, and it is Sinis, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Ray, I believe the linebacker's starting to cheat a little bit now towards the middle of the field, and maybe those linebackers going to key on
the fullback after Sinnis burned him for that 46-yard touchdown.
They'll key on the power back, and what they do now, Rye is a 4. Basically, their philosophy is a 4 defense, like a 4-4. They could go 4-3. But when they get in the jam or they want to tie someone down, what they'll do, they'll turn that 4 into a 6-1. That's putting more men on the line. That's making the blocking a little bit more confusing for the offensive line, and then they jam up all those holes.
3rd and 10, gain of 1 for Sinnis. Precioso on the delayed draw, good call. Seckler close to the first down. The spot will be most important here. It looks to be at the 18. It is good for a first down. 11-yard run by Betty Seckler.
This is a great call here. It's a sprint draw. You're going to see him like he's sprinting out. All of a sudden, he gives it to Steckler. Steckler sees the hole. It's in the open. He starts going up the field. Now, that sprint draw works very well if you are passing a lot. And what you do is you show the ball to the defenders, and they try to cover. The linebackers go back to their hook zones if they're in zone coverage, and then you hand it off, and then you get the yardage. They're not throwing that much. That's why it was a great call. It was a good run.
Seckler now split to the near side. And it's the first back through, Sinnis. And the fullback pulls his way up to the 20-yard line. Make it the 21, gain of 3. 2nd and 7, clock still rolling, 6:39 left to go. In the second quarter, Harrison leading 6-0 on a 46-yard run by the fullback Sinnis.
No, the left offensive side of the line for Harrison is very strong. They run a lot to that side.
Whistle on the play. And this is an official timeout. Paul Luciano coming over to talk with Bob Everett.
Now, when I talk about the left side of the line for Harris, I'm talking about the senior guard, number 65, John Sinnis, and the senior tackle, Adam Pollock, number 71. They are tough individuals in there.
All right, whatever the delay, taken care of. Precioso. This is the second back throw, and again, the Rye defense coming up in a hurry. This time, Joe Sanchez, number 30, 5'7" senior halfback, getting the call, and he'll get 3 more.
Joe Sanchez had 49 carries coming into this game for 232 yards and scored 1 touchdown. Now, John, you mentioned that he was the second back coming through. Now, what usually happens, you have the lineman blocking the defensive lineman, the fullback goes through, and he blocks the linebacker, and then the second back is the ball carrier, so that's an isolation play.
3rd and 5. Precioso still has it. Sideline route and completes it. Good for the first down. Nick Sinnis out of the backfield makes the reception. 13-yard pass completion.
Now, this is where Frank has quick feet. You see the fake? Now, watch. He's going out. He's throwing off that right foot. Beautiful catch. Well-thrown ball right there. And you can see that he did not run out of bounds. Now, he just wanted to stay in bounds, and you can hear the leather popping. They're really cracking out there.
Rich Mascali, number 14, making the stop for Rye. 13-yard completion. First down, number 6 for the Huskies. They keep the drive going. 5 minutes left to go till the intermission. Ball now spotted at the Harrison 37-yard line. Penalty on the play. Cal Gagne with the call. And I believe we're going to get some motion in the Harrison backfield. Cal Gagne getting it up to the 40-yard line, and that's indeed the call. Illegal procedure against the Huskies.
That was a blast play. They were in a power I left, and then they're running to that left offensive side. They're strong there. You have that left end, Paul Parisi. He's a power blocker also, so it's a blast play. You're just bringing all brute strength, blasting right over the left tackle.
There's the call, illegal procedure against the Huskies. That's their 4th penalty of the day for a total of 40 yards. Rye has been whistled twice for 30 yards. And it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Huskies. Clock stop, 4:48. They'll get it rolling again.
Now, Rye's, they're in a 4-4 defense.
Play action. Precioso still has it, looks to turn the corner, and dropped for another loss back to the 30-yard line. That time, the Garnets defense doing a nice job defending the option. They had both runners pretty well covered, and a loss back to the 31-yard line.
I just saw on that play, Craig Calgagny, he really wanted that ball, you know, on the pitch. I mentioned before that Caruso was the leading rusher with 7.1 yards to carry, but Calgagny has 7.3 yards per carry. So we got to give him the title of the leading rusher on the team. He's the Husky.
And a whistle before they're able to get the next snap off. That's our 4-minute warning. That's about to be issued to both sides of the field. And each team, actually Rye with 2 timeouts left, and Harrison, they have all 3 of theirs left to go. With 4 minutes to play, it's Harrison 6 and Rye nothing. Well, Kevin McCabe still roaming the sidelines. He's down on the field. And Kevin, it looks like we may need some bail money a little later on.
Well, Johnny, there's a war going out there on the field. About 15,000 people we're estimating in the stands here. Keeping in charge of them all, of course, is the Rye Police. I'm with Sergeant Bill Peace. Sergeant, how many officers are working here today at this game?
We've got 10 auxiliary police, and we've got 8 regular policemen.
And what are they doing? Just making sure the crowd?
Just crowd control, keeping everything nice, everybody friendly.
I know during the Super Bowl, all around the country, crime drops because everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Same thing probably happens here in Rye.
It's very big in Rye, as you can see.
Any predictions on who's going to win?
I'm rooting for Rye, but right now Harrison looks like they've fielded a very good team.
Okay, thanks a lot for talking to us, Sergeant. Back up to you. Keep that bail money ready, John.
All right, Kevin, no problem. We've got plenty of spare pocket change if need be. All right, we're about set to begin the final 4 minutes of the second quarter. Harrison leading 6-0. Only touchdown coming with 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Sinnis on a 46-yard run. Play action by Precioso, and does a nice job to get out of trouble, but down he goes at the 31-yard line. Boy, I thought they had him dead to rights. It looked like he was ready to let it go, and that was about to be popped.
And it also looked like he was really going to roll out and pick up some yardage. It was a great tackle by Ken Larson, number 46 from Rye. You can see this right here. Now watch, watch this. See Ken, number 46, coming up with that tackle because he was off to the races.
All right, that's going to go in the books as the first sack of the day by the Rye defense. And Harrison now faced with a 3rd and 15. Ball at their own 31-yard line.
Now Harrison spreading it out. Look at this. They have a slot to the right side of the field.
Precioso's in trouble. Towards the sidelines, incomplete. Nice job by the quarterback just getting it out of there. He didn't have a receiver who was open. And I'm not sure if they wanted to go with the delayed draw again. Jake Caruso looked like he slipped in the backfield.
Yeah, he did. He did slip because you can see, you know, Frank was with the ball ready to hand off. He knows that he did slip, so what he did, you know, with his speed going to the outside, and he knew that his receivers were covered, so he threw it away.
So 4th down, and the Huskies will be forced to kick it away. This will be Darren Haviland, 5'10" senior. Does the punting for Harrison. High kick, not a bad punt. Taken by Rye at their own 39. And a nice return there by Paul Parisi, getting it into Harrison territory at the 49-yard line. So with 2:49 left to go, the Garnets will have some time left to try to get touchdown on the boards before the teams head to the locker room.
You know, that's right, John. They do have time left. They have good field position. They can mix up their plays. They can run a little bit up the middle, off tackle, run outside, and they can throw that pass. They can throw it short, throw it in the flat, have the receiver run out of bounds, stop the clock, and they can work their way down for a touchdown.
They do have 2 timeouts to work with as well.
But the Husky defensive backs are doing a great job covering the receivers.
And Riebling's going to go right to work. Little sideline pass, completes it. Ken McComb, and he does a nice job getting out of bounds at the Harrison 41-yard line. He'll come up just about a yard shy of the first down stake.
Okay, Ken McComb caught that ball going out of bounds. It was in a flat. That stops the clock. That's a strategy you want. It's like a 2-minute drill, working your way down for a touchdown. Ken McComb is a senior, 6'3", 195 pounds coming into this game. He has 12 receptions for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you can see that these receivers, they can catch. When they do catch it, they run and they score.
All right, this kind of a free down now for the Garnets, 2nd and 1. Clock is stopped. with the out-of-bounds play, 2:24 left, second quarter. Newman, the lone setback behind Riebling. And he'll get the football. Bounces off right at the line of scrimmage. Jay Caruso really lowered the boom with help from Sinnis. And Newman back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
This Caruso's a tough linebacker. He's the inside man. He comes right. Whoa, what a hit. You see that man going back.
Sinnis down low, Caruso on top.
Yeah, well, what Rye's doing, they're mixing it up. See, they threw a pass, now they're running. They may run again, may throw a ball. They got time, they got to work it down. Gradually, be patient.
3rd and 1. Riebling's going to try to put it up for the first down, and it is incomplete. Touched twice by Dratty. The ball may be thrown a little bit behind him. And that will go as an incompletion.
Boy, this is dangerous right here. Here's Riebling throwing the ball. It's a little high. Dratty goes up for it. Now, that's a tip throw. See how it starts bouncing around? You get good hustle pursuit by the defense, even if it's a safety or on the opposite side of the field, or even the inside linebacker. As soon as that ball is released, go to the point where you think that ball is going to land, because it may bounce out of someone's hands and it may go right into yours. You have to hustle all the time. You never stop until a whistle's blown.
Dino Garnow going to have to work a bit here. He's bringing the club up to the line of scrimmage with a 4th and 1. Facing the Garnets, 1:42 left to go in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, both bands are here, and Kevin McCabe is going to be your host for the halftime extravaganza. Of course, we'll have a look at the statistics put up by both schools in the first 24 minutes, and we'll also have a highlight or two. All coming your way at halftime.
You know, it's interesting to note, when Rye is on defense, they use a 4-4 defense. When Harrison's on defense, they use a 5-2. So you have Rye with the even defense, Harrison with the odd. On the 5, you really have to be much stronger. You hit, read, pursue, make the tackle.
Oh, Riebling on 4th down to throw, and it's intercepted by Sinnis. Riebling able to corral him and throws him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Second interception by Riebling in the ballgame, and Sinnis, who's having a whale of a day, brings it back to Rye territory.
Okay, Sinnis must have a feeling that this ball is going to be thrown the flat. He is already there. He's cutting off the angle. He comes up with the interception. He's going down the sideline. That's exactly what you have to do. Look at this. He lays the ball right down there on the field.
Second straight interception by Riebling, ending another Rye drive. And 1:34 left. Harrison with the football at the Rye 41-yard line with 1:34 left and all 3 timeouts remaining.
I'll tell you, Nick Sinnis is playing a great game. He's rising to the occasion. A game like this, you have to have someone come up and make the big plays. A good ball player will do his job. A great ball player will come up with the play when you need it. The Super Bowl player is the ball player that comes up with that play and wins the game for you. And I'll tell you, Nick is a good, he's great, and he scored, and he's super.
No, 1st and 10 for the Huskies, 1:34 left. And the Huskies and Precioso got Trey Flood to bounce into the neutral zone. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Garnets, their 3rd of the day, and bring up a 1st and 5 for Harrison.
See, in high school, as soon as you encroach into that neutral zone, boom, the flag goes down. But in pro ball, you could go in, the ball's not snapped, you come back. What I used to tell my center is that, you know, always, if someone goes offsides on the opposite side, just snap the ball immediately. That means he's offside. Definitely. But now they changed the rule where just if there's an encroachment, automatically offside.
Caruso, Calgagny, and Seckler, the setbacks behind Precioso. And it's an option play. Calgagny going deep. Penalty on the play. It'll be pass interference as the ball goes in the end zone.
Greg Calgagny, what a throw. That was 40 yards. Look at this Calgagny. He's the leading rusher on the team. Look at this. He gets the pitch out. Look at that poise and balance. The throw. Oh. right there.
So it will be a 15-yard penalty marked from the line of scrimmage. Ball at the 35.
And it's an automatic first down. There's a little surprise for you. Try to catch you off guard. Now the clock's winding down. This is where they need a field goal kicker. If they can't take it in, they're inside the 25. They get a field goal kicker, they could get 3 more points.
Well, right now they have a 1st and 10 from the Rye 21-yard line. Clock is stopped with the incompletion, 1:27 left.
And still plenty of time.
Precioso again, little screen pass, completes it to Seckler, slips away from a couple of tackles, finally brought down. After a short gain, he's able to fight his way up to the 22 or the 18, so he'll get 2 yards.
No, Seckler is fast, and you can see when he catches this ball, he's like a water bug. He jitterbugs a little bit, gets away from the tackler. See right there, good balance. Good balance by Seckler. They're getting closer and closer, John, for a field goal.
Under a minute to play. Precioso gives it away. It's Sinis looking to turn the corner and able to get down to the 15-yard line. And now Harrison will spend one of those 3 timeouts that they had left. And that gets the ball up to the 16-yard line. Well, we're going to take a short break right here, and when we return, we'll have the final 43 seconds of this first half. Harrison has the football, facing a 3rd down and 5 when we come back. To Rye High School, the Rye-Harrison game. We've got 43 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. The Huskies leading 6-0, and they're now faced with a 3rd and 5 from the Rye 16-yard line. It's been a game of big plays in this first half. Harrison with 2 fumbles on their first 2 possessions of the game. Rye with 3 turnovers, a fumble and 2 interceptions. And that has really shut down the Garnet offense in this first half. And Harrison looking to extend their lead.
Big decision right here. This is where a head coach gets gray hairs. You really have to come up with the play that you think's going to work. If you're going to run the ball, you know, he may have a good run, but it's going to chew up too much of the clock. You want to throw the ball outside to the flat. If he catches it, you pick up yardage, run out of bounds, stop the clock. It's really a big decision right here by the head coach.
Precioso on the rollout. In trouble, slips away from a tackle and goes down at the 15-yard line, just about the line of scrimmage, and also stayed in bounds.
Yeah, he didn't get out.
So the clock's still rolling now. The Huskies will stop it with 25 seconds left to go. So another big call up and coming for Art Troyo Jr., the head football coach at Harrison, now with a 4th and 4 from the 14-yard line. Here's a look now at what's going on around Section 1 in Class B today. The Armonk Armada, number 1 Byram Hills, they will be at Arsley today. That's a League 7 meeting. The Bobcats already clinched. Actually, they've clinched at least a tie for the League 7 crown. A win today will give it to them outright. We also have number 4 John Jay at home against number 5 J.F. Kennedy. That game for the League 4 championship outright. Also today, Eastchester will be at Edgemont. We understand that head coach Ralph Patente fired this week over at Edgemont High School. Pelham is at Tappan Zee, and Woodlands will be at Gorton in a non-league meeting in this regular season finale of the 1987 Section 1 football campaign.
You know, right now it's 4th and 4. The very, very tough 4 yards to get with the clock showing 25 seconds remaining. You can line up for a field goal, fake the field goal, you know, pass it in for a score. But, you know, these are decisions that the head coach has to make. How good is the field goal kicker? Will he make it? You know, the line has to block. Will Rye fall for the field goal? Will they put pressure on? You know, there's so many things. You really, you know, you have to wait and see what happens.
Well, they're going to attempt the field goal. It'll be Jeff Radcliffe, number 9, Precioso the holder. Ball to be spotted at the 22. This is a 32-yard attempt. Ball is down, kick is away, and it will come up short, and the field goal attempt is no good. Football back with 20 seconds left to play in the first half, as Radcliffe came about 3 yards shy of kicking that field goal. Also looked, it was a little bit wide right. So now I would imagine Dino's going to just sit on it here, deep in his own territory, run out the final 20 seconds, and make his adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, you're in the hole, and it really cuts down your percentage of your offensive plays. So you don't want to gamble. If you're going to throw deep. You know, don't throw short, because if the ball's tipped off the fingertips, you know, a Harrison player may get it, go in for a score.
And that's exactly what Riebling does, falling on the ball. And the Garnets just content to run out the remainder of the time, down to 9 seconds in this first half. And what a first half it has been. Big plays, interceptions, fumbles, big passes, and a little bit of everything. And the only scoring coming with 23 seconds left in the first quarter. Nick Sinnis with a 46-yard run. And as both teams head to the locker room here at halftime, our score: the Harrison Huskies 6, the Rye Garnets nothing. And in just a moment, Kevin McCabe will be joining us down on the field as he'll be hosting the halftime presentations. It's an extravaganza in itself. We'll also have a look at the stats and some highlights when we return to the Rye Harrison game here on Cable 3.
If Tackleberry,
please! Good idea. High school. Our halftime show just about set to begin, and we'll remind you it's 6-0 our score. The Huskies leading the Garnets. We'll have the Harrison Band's presentation. The Rye Jazz Band will be here as well. We'll take a look at the stats. But enough of me. Let's get downstairs to the guy who knows all about high school marching bands, and that's our man who's hosting the halftime. It's Kevin McCabe.
Boy, talk about enough of you. I've had it. Anyways, out here behind me, the Harrison High School Band, under the direction of Malcolm Beecham. Today they are going to be playing an original selection called The Pirate Adventure, and that was written by Steve Alello, who was a former Harrison High School Band director. Okay, so let's give a listen to an original composition, The Pirate Adventure. Okay, coming up next, we are going to have the Rye High School Band under the direction of Peter Horton. They're going to be doing a Disney medley. I know Christy Caridio is going to look forward to that. She only gets to see Grumpy, and that's when he comes home from working at Cable 3 at night. And they're also going to do Rock Around the Clock with the cheerleaders. So here they are, the Rye High School. No, excuse me, not yet. We're coming up first with a commercial, then we're coming back. So hold on, Christy Caridio and everyone else. We'll be back with the Rye Harrison school game and the band after this. Rye High School in between the football game here at the halftime. You've been watching the Harrison High School Band. Right now you're looking at the crowd and everyone here who's enjoying the game as we are, and we hope you're enjoying it on Cable 3. Starting up behind me now is the Rye High School Band under the direction of Peter Horton. They're going to do a Disney medley for all our young viewers out there. I know John Caridio has a lot of youngsters in his audience. Also, they're going to do Rock Around the Clock with some of the cheerleaders. We'll be rocking along here on Cable 3. But in the meantime, let's listen to the Rye High School Band. John, whoever wins, Rye or Harrison, they're going to be rocking around the clock tonight, as we will be here at Cable 3. Let's go back up to you.
Kevin, before you go anywhere, let me ask you a quick question. How are you enjoying a football game? I know it's not one of those press conferences where the county executive is involved, but it's a little exciting.
You didn't tell me I had to enjoy myself out here. I just came here to work. As a matter of fact, the county executive was telling me just this morning, he was saying, Mr. McCabe, why are you going to that Rye-Harrison game? But anyways, I'm here, and I am enjoying myself, John.
Well, maybe we can get you to come out for a couple of more. The bowl games are right around the corner.
Now, wait a minute. Do I get overtime for this? Is Mr. Birnbaum listening?
He's right around the block. You just go ahead and ask him, and we'll check in with you a little later.
Okay, Johnny.
Kevin McCabe joining us today on our broadcast on the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Harrison leading Rye here at halftime by a score of 6-0. Let's take a look now at the numbers put up by both schools at the end of the first 24 minutes of action. And in favor of the Huskies right now, 7 first downs to 4 for the Garnets. The rushing yardage, 113 for Harrison. Nick Sinnis leading the way with 52 on the ground. Scott Newman, the leading ball carrier for the Garnets. He has 23 of their 36 yards on the ground. The passing totals, Frank Precioso, 3 of 5 for 34 yards. His counterpart, Steve Riebling, 3 of 9 for 37 yards. And throw-in 2 interceptions is there to boot. Total yards, 147 for the Huskies, 73 for the Garnets. We've had a total of 5 turnovers so far in the first half. And Huskies held onto the ball longer than the Garnets, 13 minutes and 20 seconds to 10 minutes and 40 seconds. There was only one scoring play in the ball game, and that coming at the end of the first quarter, and that was Nick Sinnis on his 46-yard run. The extra point was no good. They went for 2 points on the play. 6-0 is the score, and that's our halftime presentation. We'll take a short break and return to Nugent Stadium here on the campus of Rye High School for the second half of the Rye-Harrison game in just a moment. In the 6 years that Cable 3 Sports has been half, the Huskies kicking it away to the Garnets, and Rye returned the football back up to the 33-yard line, and the Garnets bring it up 1st and 10, opening play of the second half. Garnets trailing by a score of 6-0. Scott Riebling, the quarterback for the Garnets, and on the first play we'll give it to the big tailback Scott Newman, and Newman corralled by Jay Caruso as he gets it up to the 35-yard line, and that'll be a short gain of 2 yards for Newman. Let's take a look at the offensive set for the Rye Garnets. We'll have Riebling, the quarterback, Newman, the tailback, Trey Flood, a junior, is the fullback, the wingback, a senior, Frank Consoli, the split end, number 89, Greg Dratty, and the tight end, number 46, is Ken Larson. Again, on the offensive side, the Garnets using 6 seniors and 5 juniors. Right now, a 2nd down and 7. Just under 11 minutes to go. Riebling, play action. He's in a little trouble. Now airs it out down the sidelines. It's completed, but it is out of bounds. John Bertolini, the official on this near side of the field, right on the play. And a good grab there, but unable to stay in bounds. You see him right there, number 46, Kenny Larson. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. On the offensive line for the Rye Garnets, we'll have Anthony Malloy, Ray Delacoli, Dan Greto, John Dornick, and Mike Waltman on that offensive line, which averages 6 feet, 187 pounds. We'll also be watching Brad Haiti, number 66. He'll be the backup center, a 5'11 junior. Well, Coach, what kind of corrections do you make at halftime?
Well, I'll tell you, Rye's doing a great job because they're in the game. I really think that Harrison should have 2 touchdowns going in at halftime. They fumble on the goal line, so Rye's really in it.
Riebling, little screen pass to Newman, and he's brought down. Great open field tackle made by Ed Lucas, number 53. And he drops Newman back to the 29-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down.
Now you're going to see Ed Lucas. He's a senior, 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's going to come in. There's a nice pass reception. Look at that tackle right there in the open field. He is so strong. He's consistent. He's on 45 solos, 28 assists, 8 sacks, and he has 1 interception. He's all over the field, that Lucas.
All right, Riebling up behind the center, but Newman back there. He'll get the pitch and gets another line drive kick away.
Greg Dratty is down there, the coverage for the Garnets, as it rolls across the 40-yard line and will finally come dead at the 37. So the Garnets unable to move the football on their first possession of the second half, and with 9:54 left to go, that means the Huskies will have it 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And here's a look at the offensive unit for the Harrison Huskies. The quarterback, Frank Precioso, 6-foot senior. The two halfbacks, Craig Calgagny and Jay Caruso. Nick Sinnis with the touchdown run. He is the fullback. The tight end, Brett Basiglia, and the split end, number 12, is Paul Parisi. And on the offensive side of the field, the Huskies use 10 seniors and 1 junior. 1st and 10. To Caruso up the middle, and he bounces away from a couple of tackles. Still going, and finally the forward progress stopped, but not until he gets to the 46-yard line. A gain of 8 yards for Jay Caruso.
Now, can you imagine? He's a tailback. How many coaches in Section 1 would love to have a tailback? 6'2", 210 pounds, bench presses 315 pounds, playing tailback. You can see that was all bull work.
On the offensive line for the Huskies, Alan Pollock will be left tackle, John Sinnis the left guard, Ed Lucas the center, Pete Rossi at right guard, and Brian Mayer, number 62, will be the right tackle. He is the only junior in the Harrison starting offensive lineup, and the offensive line averaging 5'11", 203 pounds. The biggest of the bunch, Adam Pollock, 5'9", 221. Precioso gives it away again on the option, this time to the fullback Sinnis, and Sinnis pulls his way forward. Will have enough for a first down, a 3-yard gain, and that is first down number 8 for the Huskies. Defensively, for the Rye Garnets, they work with that 4-man front, as Ray mentioned earlier. Ray Delacoli, Trey Flood, Anthony Sabona, and Bob Follett. That's 3 juniors. Delacoli the only senior. The inside linebackers, Kenny Larson and Jerome Kenny. And on the next page, the outside men at the linebacker spots, Frank Consoli and Greg Dratty, number 89. The cornerbacks, Rich Mascali and Eric Esplon. And the safety, number 20, is Ricky Lehman. The offensive, or the defensive line averages 6'1", 190. Here's Caruso with a big gainer, and he just tripped up before he really broke it. Number 21, Eric Esblon, with the touchdown-saving tackle as Caruso gets it to the 40. And you may hear some boos along the Harrison sidelines. They're not happy with the spot of the football.
Now you're going to see this run right here, right off tackle. Look at him run, the power. Eric makes a tackle right there because he was off to the races. What Harrison's doing now, they're just taking it to you. They're pounding it down your throat. They're running right at you. They're running over the left side of that line. The left side is strong. They'll fire out. They'll stick with their blockers.
First down, number 9 for the Huskies. And this time it is Benny Seckler, number 7, 5'9" senior. And Seckler, a 3-yard gain. Harrison faced with a 2nd and 7.
You know, John, I'm getting so excited. I said the left side line's going to stick with the blockers. I meant the left side of the line, the blockers are sticking with the defensive men. They're driving them out. This is what you call brute strength. It's power. It's physical. You know, you're going right at them all the time. Now, you pick up 4 yards or more on a carry. You do it all afternoon. You're going to wear the other team down.
Precioso doing a nice job running the club. Harrison's had some very good drives, and Precioso can't get it away. Greg Dratty from behind, registering the sack, number 2 on the day for the Garnets, and that brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you can see Precioso right here wants to run the option. Now you see number 89, Dratty, coming down from the opposite side, the back side. He's pursuing well. You never give up. You come, and he makes the tackle from behind. He's only a junior.
3rd and 10 facing the Huskies. 6:39 to go, 3rd quarter. Harrison leading 6-0. And again, we've got motion. This time it's a delay of game call against the Huskies.
See, in a game like this, you can't make mistakes. This is what, you know, it kills the coaches. They tell the players, no mistakes, no turnovers. You have to play like fundamentally sound football, error-free. But there's so much emotion in this game, the build-up all week. I mean, you know, the big spread in the paper. You know, coaches all over the county are talking about it. You have 10, 12,000 people here. There's so much involved, and they're, you know, you can't take it out of perspective. They're only 16, 15, 17-year-old high school students.
Right now, this Rye side of the field, very quiet. They've been for most of the game. Fumble snap, Preciosa comes up with it, he's in trouble, down he goes! Bob Follen came flying in and dropped Preciosa all the way back to his own 41.
That's what you call pressure, putting the pressure on. I said at the top of the program that it's going to boil down to the line, controlling the line of scrimmage. Now he's going right in there. It's like he's not even touched. He's going in like a freight train, goes in, makes the tackle.
So 4th down, and Darren Haviland, his second punt of the afternoon. Nice high spiral. This one's going to be handled by Rich Mascali at his own 20. Goes right up the middle of the field, brings it back to the 24-yard line. And that's where Rye gets it, 1st and 10. 5:23 left to play in quarter number 3.
Now again, Rye does not have that good field position, because I always felt you want good field position so you can really operate, you can function your offense. When you're down here, you know, you can't be conservative, you can't take a chance, you know, you got to come up with the plays that are going to pick up the yardage, get you to first down to get into the good field position.
Draddy split to the top of the screen, Lehman to the bottom, Flood and Newman the setbacks behind Riebling. And he wants to put it up on the first play. Sideline route, he just threw that one away. Looking for McComb, he pumped once, and then McComb got covered in a real hurry, and that one just thrown out of bounds. So Riebling now 3 of 10 through the air. Defensive set for the Harrison Huskies. We told you earlier they go with a 5-man front. Craig Calgagny, John Sinnis, Rob Brunetti, Frank Altamaro, and Eddie Lucas. Line averaging 5'10", 191 pounds. There's the linebackers, Sinnis and Caruso. Jeff Ratcliffe, Brett Fasigli at the corners, Benny Seckler, Frank Precioso are the strong safeties. 2nd and 10. Newman in motion. Riebling straight drop back. Good protection down the sidelines, and this one is thrown out of bounds. And just as Riebling let the ball go, Frank Altamaro made a little galling card.
And that's exactly what the Huskies are going to have to do. They're going to have to put pressure on Riebling. They're going to have to get in there. They may even have to blitz one of those inside linebackers so that they can put that extra pressure and rush Riebling into throwing the ball.
That stops the clock with 4:56 to play. 3rd quarter, still 6-0 our score. Draddy again to the top of the screen, Lehman to the bottom. Newman the lone tailback. Play action to him. Sideline route to Draddy, incomplete. Precioso in on the coverage, and Riebling having all kinds of trouble completing passes. Now 3 of 11 for the day, and kind of throws his arms out. He's not quite sure what's going on. But that'll bring up a 4th down, and Rye's going to be forced to punt it away again.
See what Harrison's doing. They have 5 men on the line, the 2 linebackers, and then they're 4 deep. They have every zone covered that's deep. So what Riebling is looking at, he's looking at 4 white jerseys in the defensive backfield. Now you can do this well if the defensive line is doing their job.
Pitch comes back to Newman again, gets it away. Seckler at his 40, crosses midfield and finally brought down at the Rye 46-yard line in the arms of Mike Waltman, number 75.
Good field position for Harrison. You know, it's like Rye's trying to work out of a hole. Harrison has the field position. I think what Harrison has to do, they have to go back what they were successful right in the beginning of the game. You know, give it to the fullback, give it to the fullback, take it to the fullback, and have Frank Precioso run right behind the fullback behind him. It's like an isolation, but the quarterback's running the ball.
So the Huskies now, their 2nd possession in the 2nd half. Clock is rolling, under 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. It's Caruso trying to dive over the top, and he's able to get just a couple of yards. Dratty in on the stop. And also down there, number 12, Rich Muscali's been on quite a few tackles in today's game. Caruso gets 3.
Okay, this is a brute strength. It's physical. Now, that's the I formation. The tailback, I used to call him the 4-back. Now, what happened? That was a power I left. They ran over left tackle. That's the 5 post. So it's a 45 blast. The 2 backs are leading it. The linemen are blocking. And you just drive the defense back to pick up that yardage.
Caruso. And there's Muscali again, number 12.
That was the same play, but to the right side. That's a 44 blast.
3-yard gain for Caruso. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. And we've got an injured player down on the field. First of the day, I think it's Cal Gagne.
An injury on the field.
Nope, pardon me, number 14. That's Brett Basiglia.
Brett Basiglia, injured player on the field.
So it looks like a little cramp problem. A warm day. I mean, for the second weekend in November, temperature now up at about 65 degrees, and it's just a beautiful day for football. Take a look finally now at the last of our pages in what's going on around Section 1 today. In Class C, some other big games to make note of. Number 1 Pleasantville taking on number 2 Croton. That's in Tiger Country, and that one will be for the League A championship today. Number 3 Dobbs Ferry is at home against number 4 Briarcliff. That one for the League 9 crown. Also today, number 5 Bronxville will be at home against Irvington in a League 8 meeting. And also in Class C today, Tuckahoe is at Hastings, and Rhinebeck at home against Valhalla. 3rd and 5 for the Huskies. Ball at the Rye 39, and it's Nick Sinnis gets the call, and he is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Ray Delacoli, number 64, making the stop as Sinnis gets 1 yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. And already Darren Haviland in the lineup to punt the football away.
No, Rye is playing tough defense. They're in this game. This game by a long shot is not over.
Haviland gets the kick away, low spiral, takes a high hop, and picked up by Muscali. Trying to turn the corner, nothing doing. Drop there by Frank Altamaro as he's able to get it to the 11-yard line. And Rye once again pinned deep in their own territory. We'll have it 1st and 10 with 2:31 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Harrison's doing a good job keeping Rye in the hole. Now what they want to do, they want to keep him here, have Rye punt the ball out. They'll get the ball in midfield, go down, get a couple of 1st downs. And the entire game is being played for the advantage of Harrison. Now, you know, when this happens like this, you have to break the ice and come up with another score.
Now an official's timeout. And now more than that, it's a Rye timeout. As they have to spend one here, one of those valuable timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. And stops the clock with 2:11 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
You know, John, I was talking about before how intense this game is all week. Now you got to look at the head coach's viewpoint. How big of a game is it for them? Now, can you imagine in 1 week that the head coaches are looking at films, reviewing films, exactly what the opponent does, what the tendencies are? You know, it's like 15 to 20 hours a week that they're, you know, looking at films. Then they have to go and teach. Then they have to, you know, go to practice. When do these guys eat? When do they sleep? There's so much work involved.
Bring him down, 53. Okay? No, run it the way we're supposed to run it. You go for 30 feet, okay? You get the tackle, come down, okay? You kick out 53, he's going to come down, hook him, and break it out more, okay? Just go. If he's coming down, hook him. Tackle, pull it out more. You got 14. 14's the guy who's making a play.
Here we go, here we go.
You get a very unique look inside of the huddle as Dino Guard trying to work something with his offense.
Now, from what I gather at the end, he said, tell him to tackle the pull, and he's got to get number 14. That's his man. What they may do, they may pull the offside guard tackle, and the onside guard, the guard will kick a man out to tackle, lead it up the hole, and have the ball carrier run off tackle.
First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Third possession of the second half for the Garnets. 2:11 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, that's it, John. See the guard and tackle pulling?
Here comes Newman. He is going to break one all the way up to the 27-yard line.
That was it. Yeah, the left guard, the left tackle, they pulled, they lead it up the hole. If any white jersey shows, they're going to have to block him, kick him out. Now you're going to see. Watch that. See the guard and the tackle, they're pulling. Now they're leading it up the hole. Boom. Two of them hit the one man. Newman picks up the first down. Good, excellent yardage.
Benny Seckler made the tackle. Newman, 16-yard gain. First down, number 5 for the Garnets. Minute 52 left to go, third quarter. Ball now spotted at the 27.
Okay, same play, same play.
This time not as much success, but we're able to bring it up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 3 for Newman. We threw out some stats on Scott Newman a little earlier in the day. 137 carries coming into today's ball game with 873 yards. And you can see that Kenny Larson coming off the field limping a little bit. But getting back to Newman, he's got 11 touchdowns this season, 4 extra points. And overall, that puts Newman in the number 5 spot for the Section 1 scoring race. 873 yards coming into the game. Riebling gets out of trouble, now throws, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, number 44, Trey Flood, pass thrown a little low, but Riebling in a lot of hot water back there again.
Okay, you're going to see Riebling right here. He's going to take his drop. Okay, a little play action. Okay, now just a little low, a little bit too low. Now, John mentioned before that Ken Larson was injured, and that would be a loss to Rye because he's 6'5", 205 pounds, tri-captain of the team, plays baseball, was all section of basketball, and he's a college prospect.
Now they're trying to get the crowd worked up on this Rye side of the field. Newman in motion. It is 3rd and 7. Riebling, straight drop back, gets good protection down the middle of the field, incomplete. Boy, did that one really hang up there. He had 2 receivers in the area. Greg Dratty, I think, was the primary target. But that goes as another incompletion, and will bring up 4th down.
Now, what's interesting on that play, what Rye did, they had a flanker, a wide slot, and then they send a man in motion. What they were doing, they were flooding the zone. They were having 3 receivers on one side going down the field, and then one will break to the inside, one will go straight down, one will go to the outside, just to try to confuse the coverage of Harrison. That's what you call flooding the zone.
So again, Garnets at least showing punt. Newman will get the pitch from Riebling. And it's a high kick. Seckler's going to have to let this one bounce. Dratty again down there to cover it. And it will roll dead at the 23-yard line.
That was an excellent punt. They picked up yardage. They're picking up yardage on the exchange of the balls because of that excellent punt. Now, Harrison's going to have to get a couple of first downs, and then if they can't score, get Rye back in the hole. If Rye holds them right here, and Harrison has to punt out, there's a possibility that Rye may end up with the ball at midfield. They're winning yardage on the exchange on the punts.
Now the Harrison side of the football field trying to whip their crowd up. 1st and 10. It's Caruso, wrapped up in the line of scrimmage. Trey Flood, the first man there. Got an injured Husky down on the field. Clock is stopped with 2 seconds left.
But, John, you look at that picture, it looks like you're at a ball game. Now, here's Caruso right here. He hits a wall. They're driving him back. Okay, this is getting Rye up a little bit because they know they can stop him. You know, the momentum can change.
And that is Nick Sinnis, the fullback, down on the turf.
Oh, boy, what a great job he's doing defensively. He's covering the receiver like a blanket. He scored the touchdown. He's a good runner. They can't lose him. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him.
Now, this gives me opportunity to point out something you don't see every day. Bob Everett, the referee today, in today's game, how many times do you see the official leaning over the injured ball player? He is so concerned, as is the rest of his crew, with the fact that the officials stay completely in the background, and he wants to make sure that the game is played for the kids and that there isn't a call that will determine the game and, in essence, take it away from what these two teams have tried to work for during the season and over the past week to put on a great show for this large crowd that is here today. And we've talked a lot about the officials over the years and how they are really one of our favorite groups around. Doing this not for the money, but for the love of the game and trying to help out the kids as best they can.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, John. They really love the game of football. Now, Bob Everett, I know he lives in East Chester. I've known him for years and years. And he's really concerned about the ball players' safety. He wants a good, clean game. You know, the ball players have to maintain their poise. You can't get riled up in a situation like this. You know, you can't, swing at anybody because it's going to be a penalty. And the officials are right on top of this. They're telling the ball players, all right, below.
All right, they got the clock started. There were just 2 ticks left, so the first quarter has come to an end. It's Harrison 6, Rye nothing, as we move to the final 12 minutes of the game, the 56th renewal of the Rye-Harrison battle. We'll have the final quarter when we come back.
I'm Jane Akery. The Treasury Department is technically out of...
The nation's weather map today promises a mild weekend.
House vote last night against a spending bill. Opponents...
Around the world in 30 minutes, this is Headline News.
It's 19 minutes after the hour.
Get a head start on your day. Wake up with the Headline News Network. Get the headline habit.
Final quarter. Harrison leading Rye 6-0. Huskies with the football, 2nd and 10. And again, they're trying to get the crowd worked up to a small frenzy. Harrison with all 3 timeouts remaining. Rye has 2. Prezioso brings the club up. He has Caruso, the fullback, Seckler, the tailback. Seckler with the pitch. And he will go down after a short gain up to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 1. And that brings up 3rd and 9.
The Rye defense is very quick. They are not letting Harrison get to the outside, even if it's a pitch or on the option. They are just smothering the outside perimeter.
Just a great atmosphere all around today.
It's like you're at a ball game. There's so many people.
Even better. Even better. 3rd and 9. Inside counter, good for the first down. A big play. Craig Calgagny up to the 34-yard line. He gets the first down by a good 2 yards.
This is a great run by Craig, the leading rusher on the team. You can see Frank right there. He just shows the ball. It's a counter right up the middle. He just goes right by, just like beep, beep, boom, and he was through. John, when I say a bowl game, I don't mean the bowl games in Section 1. I'm talking like the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl. Oh, this is a big time.
10 first downs for the Huskies. Caruso, penalty marker thrown in the middle of the line of scrimmage.
And that's usually holding.
Caruso got the call, and the Rye players signaling just what Ray said, and Bob Everett gives us the preliminary signal, holding against the Huskies. So the penalty now being discussed with the Rye captains. And Dino Gar along the sideline signaling to his captains he wants the penalty assessed. And this will be a big one, 15-yarder.
Yeah, he wants to put him in a hole.
This is going to bring the ball back inside the 30-yard line, and they'll put it at the 26.
You know, John, the way I see it, that the Rye defense, I mean, they're pursuing to the ball very well and quickly. I think what Harrison has to do is use a little bit change of direction. You know, come with counters, maybe a reverse, try to catch the Rye defense off guard.
First down and 20. Again, the delayed draw. Seckler with the call, finds an opening. He's able to turn the corner, now he down the sidelines. And another touchdown-saving tackle, this time by Ricky Lehman, as Seckler brings it all the way across into Rye territory.
Okay, now Seckler may have been honorable mention all section last year, but the way he's running this, look at him hit the outside. He's got speed, he's a burner, he's got wings on the heels, he's ready to fly.
They put the ball right at midfield on the 50-yard line. There seems to be an injured player along the sidelines. While we check that out, let's see what's going on down at the field with Kevin McCabe.
John, I went over to the Harrison side and I checked on Nick Senes. His trainer told me that he's got cramps in both of his legs. He said usually they'd keep him out of a game.
How many cramps you have? A game of this magnitude, it's tough to keep those kids out of the lineup.
Yeah, but what you have to do, though, you have to take them on the sideline. You have to rub those calves down, you know, get the circulation, the blood flowing in there. You get the cramps because you're working so hard and your body's not absorbing that fluid. That's why they say, you know, before a game, put a little bit extra salt on your food. You know, once you get that cramp, that calf muscle jumps right up behind your knee and you can't move.
Ricky Lehman was the injured player along the sidelines for the Garnets. He came across the field under his own power. And now on a 1st and 10, the Huskies right back the middle, and Jay Caruso just will not go down. 4 Garnets that time having to make the tackle. And Caruso, big gain of 6 yards.
Caruso's a workhorse here. Now you have to tackle him low. Look at this. He stopped, he's stymied, he's twisted, he's turning. He picked up 3-4 extra yards. But then the key is the line. They have to fire off that ball. They have to meet their man and drive them back. That's the key right there in the mind. The line in the mind, cracking cold.
Caruso or Calgagny, another Harrison first down to the Rye 31-yard line.
See, they're coming at you. Harrison is just coming right at you. They're just running up the middle. They're running off tackle. They're coming at you. They have backs that are blocking. The linemen are blocking. Now look at this, just straight ahead, bowling people over. They come at you. They come at you all the time. That strength. That it's being physical. You know, a team like this eventually they can wear someone down. You have to be well-conditioned. You have to be a well-oiled machine. You have to be fundamentally sound. You have to be skilled. You have to be well-coached.
Now we've got a stoppage in play along the far sidelines. Our referee, Bob Everett, is talking with some of the police officers in today's game. As is tendency in a game of this magnitude, the crowd seems to inch its way closer and closer to the field. And Bob just wants to make sure he can get that sideline cleared out. And that the chain gang has got plenty of room to move, and also the coaching staff has a chance to have a free field division as well.
John, how many people do you think are here this afternoon?
It's got to be 15,000. Ball is fumbled. Rice got it. Ricky Lehman.
That's a big play right there. The momentum can change. The momentum can change. This could psych Rye up. This is what you don't want to do if you're Harrison. Look at that ball. That's he did, pick it up and score. That's what he wanted to do.
So a big break there. The Huskies looked like they were driving for another score.
They cough it up for the third time in the game, and the Garnets, 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Dribbling to Newman, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Jay Caruso on the stop.
Well, that's one way of stopping momentum right there, coming in and making a tackle, and not only on the line of scrimmage, but it's behind for about a 3 or 4 yard loss. Caruso's the inside linebacker coming right in, making a stop for the loss.
Loss of 3. Right now with a 2nd and 13.
This is where the defensive secondary for Harrison has to be careful. They have to watch their men because the ball may be thrown.
This is the 4th possession of the second half for the Garnets. And in offense, they have only gained 21 yards here in the second half. Penalty on the play, the Garnets with a delay of game call. Another big mental error by the Garnets, and that's going to push them back 5 more yards.
Now what Rye is doing, they're using an ace formation. That means there's only one back in the backfield. They have the other 2 backs playing flanker. Now they can go straight down the field. The tight ends are in there. They can also go down. They can come across or whatever. So you have 4 receivers going down immediately right off the line of scrimmage.
The Harrison coaching staff along the sidelines. Trying to come up with some defensive schemes here. Riebling again to throw. Airs it out and again overthrows everybody. And Scott.
I don't know if the ball's slipping out of his hands or if he's just a little too pumped up, because every time he throws them towards the sidelines, he's putting them almost into the stands. He's really letting them fly so hard.
He has good zip on the ball, and if you let it go too soon, then you're going to get height on it. You just have to hold on to it maybe another 3/4 of a second to get the ball down. But still, the key is the defensive line. I mean, they have to apply the pressure because Harrison is playing 4 deep as soon as they see pass situation.
7:50 to play. Riebling again looking to throw. Looking for Dratty deep. Ball's hanging up there. Precioso intercepted. And Dratty can't make the tackle. Precioso goes down at the 45-yard line.
Now we're gonna watch this play right here, and you're gonna see that Riebling has plenty of time to get this ball off. The offensive line for Rye does a tremendous job. Look at this, 1,001, 2, 3, almost 3.8 a second, which is good. Here's Frank playing quarterback and safety, coming up with an interception, gets away from 1 tackler, and picks up 5-6 more yards. Here's a guy playing offense. He's playing defense. He's coming up with an interception. Precioso, but he may be the Presidente.
So Harrison gets it back, this time from their own 46-yard line. Might be time to eat up some clock. They go right up the middle of the field. Sanchez, I believe, it might be Sinnis again. It is Nick Sinnis back in the lineup, and he comes right out to get a quick 9 yards.
I guess those cramps are taken care of, but they're still coming at you. They're still coming at you. I think with a counter, maybe reverse, something like that, just to throw the defense off guard.
2nd and 1.
Don't forget the left side of the line, the offensive line for Harrison. That's the sprint. They'll run to that left side.
Caruso busts away from 3 tacklers and gets it inside the 35. He's up to the 33-yard line.
You're going to see Caruso going, where else? The left side of the line. Those are the guys that are blocking. Now, he runs the ball. He doesn't want to go down. He picks up extra yard. That left side of the line, Parisi, Pollock, Sinnis, 65, 71, and 12.
Whistle on the field, and Rye is going to take a 2nd timeout. That will leave them, no, pardon me, officials timeout. You see the signal by Bob Everett. A little trouble with some equipment.
Anthony Scabonia coming off the field. And Dino Gar is going to send Scott Newman into the defensive lineup. There's Archoyo Jr. It was funny, I thought, when we asked him in the pregame show what was easier, coaching this game or playing it. He said playing it is easier.
Yeah,
as soon as you get hit, the game's on. Said, Coach, you're nervous from the opening gun to the final whistle. Sinnis again with the call. And Harrison now really starting to open up some holes. Not that they haven't been in this game, but the defense for Rye has been on the field an awfully long time in this game, and it's got to be taking its toll.
So you talk about Art Troilo Jr. I remember when I was the head coach and he was a player. He was like a coach on a field. His father's a coach. He was brought up in that atmosphere. His second year as a head coach, look how successful he is. He's up there with the premier coaches.
This is Caruso. He'll be short of the first down stake, getting it to the 24-yard line. But more important, that clock continues to roll. Under 5.5 to go.
I just want to go back to Art Troilo Jr. He's young, 25 years old. He becomes the head coach. This year he's 26. He's one of the youngest coaches, head coaches in a section. And look at a tremendous job. Last year he lost 3 games. He's undefeated so far this year. You have to give him a lot of credit. There's no doubt about it. And I'm sure his dad's proud of him because he was just brought up in that environment. He just learned the system of football very well.
Caruso with the call, and another Harrison first down to the 21-yard line. The Huskies racking up 14 first downs in this game, and they're starting to make this purely academic.
Well, see what they're doing. They're controlling the ball. They're running. That's exactly what they want to do. Here we have...
Yes, hey, it's Tony Coas is at the game today. Former Rye alum. Actually, I guess you're always an alum.
Yeah,
former Rye High graduate.
And his brother played with the Boston Patriots.
4:49 left. Precioso eyed up the gut. It's Sis. Down to the 16-yard line. Another 5-yard gain.
This is where Rye, the defense, what's going to happen is that the linemen are going to have to hold the guy up, and the linebacker's going to have to come in, polish off the ball carrier, put his helmet, face mask right into the ball, and have him fumble it. It's the only way you're going to stop them now. You're going to have to make them fumble the ball.
Should be our final play before the 4-minute warning. It's Seckler. Bounces off to the outside, tried to cut it inside, and finally down at the 7-yard line, and that will be good for another first down. As he goes from the 16, they'll spot it at the 9. A 7-yard gain, first down, number 15.
Now, Harrison's running to the left side again, the left side of that line. There's Steckler. You see him going, he's making a move to the outside, then he cut to the inside.
All right, the whistle on the field. The 4-minute warning now being issued to both sides. The Huskies with all 3 timeouts remaining, and Rye, they have 2 left to go. With the 4-minute warning now, let's go back down to the field with Kevin McKay.
John, I'm down here with the Rye principal, Dean Flood. And Dean, I know you're always glad to see the end of this week come, aren't you?
Well, it's an emotional, intense week for the kids. We sure hope that they have fun and win, but we're glad when it's over.
What about the game? What do you think of the game so far?
Well, it's been a tough defensive battle on both sides. Harrison looks very impressive. They're very strong. Rye hasn't been able to get on the board, and that's the name of the game right now with 4 minutes left.
Okay. Dean, thanks for coming down with us today. I want to thank Dean Flood for coming with us. Also, I want to thank Tony Coash, who's been doing camera for me today. He's got to go right now. He's an alumnus of Rye High School, and Dean Flood would like to see him something about some detention he's got to make up. So we'll be back a little bit later. Back up to you, John.
Boy, I'll tell you something. If they accumulate all of Coash's detention time, he may never be working again. He's going to spend all of that time in a classroom. And that's where he belongs.
No, he was a good student. Guys are just busting chops.
Here we go. It is first and goal for the Huskies. The ball at the 9-yard line.
4 minutes left to play. Huskies leading 6-0. Sinis with the only touchdown of the day, a 46-yard run in the first quarter. Precioso gives it away, and it's Sinis again. Gets it to the 6-yard line. Gain of 3. Sinis now with 78 yards rushing in the ball game and that one touchdown.
Harrison ran to the right side just to keep him honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they come right back and run to the left side of their line. With power football.
Second and goal. Calgagny, nowhere to go. The ball, I believe, popped out, but they say the Huskies able to fall back on it. Calgagny getting it back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, you're going to see some hard hitting here by the defensive line. Look at this. Boom, he was hit, bounced around. The ball was popped out, but his forward progress was stopped.
And Mike Moore also down on the field, working the handheld. He's right back of the end zone. He's giving you that look there. That's what it's like to be the free safety. Third and goal from the 7-yard line. Precioso still has it, tries to cut it inside, and the ball came out loose, but the whistle had already blown. They're saying the ball was dead before Precioso let it fly. So that'll bring up a 4th down. We'll take another look here. You won't be able to hear the whistle blow, but you'll see that Precioso is down. There is forward progress stopped, and then the ball came out loose. And Rye now will call a timeout as Dino Gar makes that long trip from the sidelines into the huddle. He has to stop the Huskies one more time. 2:13 left. Now Artroyo also with an interesting decision here. A field goal gives him a 9-0 lead, which would force Rye to score twice in the ball game if they hope to come up a winner. And of course, Art may be deciding here to go for the kill, get that touchdown, and put this game away. So this will be an interesting call as Troyo talking with Precioso and Benny Seckler. Clock is stopped with 2:13 left to go. 6-0 to score. Harrison leading Rye. Don't forget, coming up Tuesday night on Extra Points, we will have all of the highlights of this game, plus highlights from around the county. Steve Tepper on our remote crew today. He's visiting the Scarsdale White Plains game, the Briarcliff Dobbs Ferry game, and also, just because we had to send him there, the Mount Vernon New Rochelle game. So we'll have those highlights plus all the scores. The winning coach and player of the game from today's ball game coming up Tuesday night at 7:30 on Extra Points. Big play on both sides of the football. 4th and goal from the 7-yard line. Caruso, the lone setback. Precioso rolling out. In trouble. Gets it away. Incomplete. Overthrew everybody. Just wanted to get it out without taking the sack. So the Garnets will have one more shot. Good pressure put on by the Rye defense. This is a controlled rollout, but right here it's panic time. Precioso just trying to get out of the way and overthrew everyone. So the Garnets get it back with 2:07 left to go. And they have 93 yards to try to win this game. They also have only one timeout left. Riebling, sideline route incomplete. Looking for Joe Cancel, number 32. And Riebling, who continues to struggle, throwing the football today, now 3 of 18 through the air and 3 interceptions. That incompletion stops the clock, 2:03 left. Draddy comes split to the near side. Cancel, top of the screen. Newman the lone setback. Riebling, sideline route, looking for Draddy, and it's completed. What a grab by Greg Draddy. That breaks a string of 11 straight incompletions by Riebling as the Garnets come right up to the line of scrimmage. Another quick sideline route, and that one just thrown out of bounds to stop the clock. But as I started to say, Riebling's ended a string of 11 straight incompletions with that 30-yard completion to Greg Draddy. And what a great grab. Here it is again. Harrison, defender, hanging all over him. And Draddy somehow came down with the football. So the Garnets still in business. 1:52 left. And they still have one timeout remaining. Riebling. Intercepted. Radcliffe. Just running around, killing some time. And the Huskies may have killed the Garnets. Riebling was hit just as he let the football go, and that really got it wobbling. He's got time, but there he just lofts it up right into the hands of Radcliffe, and here he's just trying to kill as much time as possible, and finally goes down right at midfield, and the Huskies will just try to run out the clock. Rye has one more timeout. Penalty on the play, a delay of game call against the Huskies. And that will stop the clock with 1:14 to go. And the Huskies looking to improve to a sparkling 9-0 this season. Rye in danger of suffering their second setback of the year. In week number 3, they were beaten by Byram Hill 7-2, and they trail 6-0 here. Precioso just going to fall on it. And Rye will spend their third and final timeout. And that'll stop it with 1:09 left. But the Garnets, their side of the field now very quiet. And mathematically, when you look at the clock and the time allowed in between snaps, barring a fumble, this one will join the rest of these memorable series. 56 others in the record book. Rye, as we told you coming into today's game, had a 4-game winning streak in this series. Before that, the Huskies had won 9 in a row, 1976 or 75 through 82. Rye winning the next 4, and Harrison about ready to end that. Again, coming up at the end of the game, Ray Karowski will be down on the field with the winning coach and our player of the game. And if it holds up the way it is, Nick Sinnis is going to be our MVP today. Again, Precioso standing around, now finally drops to his knees, ending the play. But now he'll get the clock rolling, and Rye powerless to stop it. 59 seconds left in the game. It is third down. And the Harrison sideline's just about ready to explode. This season, the Huskies have taken care of everyone. opened the season beating Hendrick Hudson 28-7, then beat Tappan Zee 28-0, then won in a major rivalry against Portchester 20-15, and then took care of Sleepy Hollow, Woodlands, Nyack, and in 2 non-league games, Gordon and Westlake, and are about to handle Rye here as we will hear the final count with 10 seconds to go. And here they come. Now here's an interesting scenario. The game not officially over. They're going to try to get the crowd off of the field if possible to delay a game call against Harrison. They came close to ending it without having to run one more play, but they're going to have to do it one more time. They'll just have to take the snap. I'll tell you, that's a great job getting everybody off the field. So all the Huskies will have to do is just run this final play. Snap the ball. Precioso will fall on it. And the 56th edition of the Rye Harrison game will be put in the books. Precioso runs, goes down, and now it's over. Just a tremendous effort by the Harrison Huskies, a running game that may be on par with the best in Section 1 this season. As Ray Karowski would say, they have won it in the trenches, and they have also won their 29th game in this great series, defeating the Rye Garnets by a final of 6-0. Well, if you stay right where you are in just a moment, Ray Karowski will be down on the field with Art Choyo, the winning coach, and our player of the game, Nick Sinnes, as soon as we can extricate everybody out of that mass of humanity on the field. And we return with a post-game show here at Cable 3. School, the 56th meeting between these two schools is now completed, and the Huskies have won their 29th in this historic series, 6-0, the final over the Rye Garnets. Down on the field, the winning coach, Art Troyo, our player of the game, Nick Sinnes, and they're with our coach, Ray Karowski.
Well, thanks a lot, John. Congratulations, Art. Everything's so emotional. I know the last couple of seconds, I just touched you. There's a no, it's not over yet. But let's go. No, I wouldn't do that. But in the first quarter, where you had the fumble here on the goal line, what was going through your mind?
I really thought that I really thought we were going to win. From the very beginning of the game, I thought just a matter of time. I was kind of disappointed we only scored once. We have a great team. We have 28 seniors. Rye's going to have they had a great team this year. They have a better team next year, so this had to be our year.
Now, you ran the ball. I remember talking to you during the week. You said if we can run the ball, pick up those 3-4 yards to carry, that you're definitely going to win the game. But you did mix it up with a little bit passing. I thought that play, that screen pass, was excellent. Why did you call it at that time?
Well, we have some good backs. We just like to get them the ball out on the outside there and let them run. That's what we did. And I think we should have scored there, too.
Yeah. Now, you won as a player when you were the tailback at Harrison, and now you win as a coach. Just tell us how you feel, what you went through, your own words.
It's great as a player, but it's even better as a coach.
You had a hard week of work. I know you guys watch films for 15, 20 hours. And it's really well worth it.
Yes, it is. And these kids really deserve it.
They really do. They played a great game.
It's meant to be.
Nick, you played a great game. There's no doubt about it. You were really up for the game, and you really have to have someone rise to the occasion, and you did it. Now, what, in your words, what do you think was the key to the victory?
The key to the victory was all week of working hard, getting prepared to play Rye.
Everybody knew what they had to do, so they went out there and they kicked their ass.
And also, how about the line? The line play was tremendous.
Yeah, offensive line and defensive line. I give a lot of credit to the line.
Now, you had a touchdown run, 46 yards. You played well on defense. What do you think you did best in the game? Like something that you're going to remember for the longest time?
Winning this game 6-0, that's all I care.
Well, you did a great job. Congratulations, and good luck to you in the bowl game. Okay, wish you a lot of luck. Great win. Okay, John, what we have seen here was the Rye Harrison. It was a tremendous traditional game, and you have seen Harrison. They come at you, they come at you. You can rip their arm off, rip their leg off. They're the Harrison Huskies, but in my words, you saw them today, you're going to see them in the bowl game. They're the Harrison Pit Bull Terriers. Really tough. John, back up to you.
All right, you might hear in the back there, Nick Sin is saying he's not a Pit Bull Terrier, I'm a Husky. And that's exactly what Harrison showed out here today as they defeat Rye by a final of 6-0. In a few moments, we'll take a look at the final numbers in the game, but this incredible week of pageantry is not quite over yet. Even though the football game is finished, there's a little ceremony happening over at the creek. Kevin McCabe is over there, and we're going to find out what the celebration is like.
The Harrison Huskies, some wet puppies today as they take the traditional dip in the drink in the old Rye Creek here at Rye High School. If Rye had won, you would have seen the Garnets go in there. All of them carry their own coach in, but they didn't. Harrison usually goes back and jumps at the lake at Harrison. They decided they might as well get wet down here too. Who knows, maybe they'll go back there and do it again all over up in Harrison. But anyways, that's the way it looks from down here at the creek and from down here at the field where I am now. I'm going to send it right back upstairs to John Caridio.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin, and our thanks to you for a job well done covering the extracurricular activities of today's ball game. And let's get down to the intricacies of this game. The final numbers put up by both schools. 15 first downs for Harrison in the day, rolling up the rushing yardage, 254. Our player of the game, Nick Sinnis, led the way. He had 78 yards rushing. Also, Jay Caruso with 62 yards on the ground, and Benny Seckler with 55 yards rushing. Scott Newman led the way for the Garnets. He had 44 of the 57 yards tallied by Rye on the ground. Passing total 70 for Rye. Steve Riebling had a real tough afternoon, only completing 4 passes out of 18 for the 70 yards. The big one, the 33-yarder to Greg Dratty late in the fourth quarter. It looked like the Garnets were about ready to roll up, but Riebling threw another interception. There were 5 of them on the day, 4 interceptions and 1 fumble for the Garnets, 3 fumbles for the Huskies, but as it turned out, it never really hurt them. 288 total yards to 127, and as we told you in the fourth quarter, that Rye defense out on the field an awfully long time. There's your proof. Harrison had the ball 30 minutes to 18 in the 48 minutes of action that we saw here today in this Rye-Harrison football game. Really one big play in that second half as you see Harrison heading out down the post road to continue their celebration over at Harrison High School. That one highlight, just the biggest play in the second half when Riebling went back to pass looking to keep this drive alive, and instead, as he gets popped right at the line of scrimmage as he let it go, the ball intercepted by Jeff Radcliffe, and he just dives around in midfield to kill as much time as possible, and in effect that killed Rye's chances to come away a winner in today's ball game. 6-0 the final. The Harrison Huskies improving to 9-0 on the year, and the Rye Garnets drop to 7 up and 2 down. Now we want to remind you that next up on our schedule will be at Memorial Field and Mount Vernon for the 1987 Section 1 High School Football Bowl Games. Sunday morning, the football committee will be meeting in Brewster to decide who's going to play in the bowls and who is going to play whom. And we'll have all that information for you Tuesday night on Extra Points, and we'll ask you to check the program guide to find out which bowl games will be appearing right here on Cable 3. So that's going to do it for this edition of the High School Football Game of the Week. The final, once again, the Harrison Huskies now 9-0 on the year as they defeat the Rye Garnets by a final of 6-0. And as always, this high school football game of the week has been brought to you by the leader in local sports television, UA Columbia Cablevision of Westchester. For our director, Kevin Matavu, for Kevin McCabe, and for Ray Karowski, I'm John Caridio. Thanks very much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next week down at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon for the Section 1 Bowl Championships.
See you later, everybody. This is UA Columbia Cablevision of Westchester. We now conclude our broadcast at this time. Thanks for joining us on Cable 3.